Sorry.
Hello and welcome to our weekly Anti-SJW Ultradegeneracy. By the way,
it's a clown world after all.
By the way, a link to the introduction will be in the chat. The quality stuff, and it's actually relevant to one of our topics. It's always relevant to our topics, but this week especially.
Are we talking about the UK, classic clown country?
Actually, according to I think SPLC. Clown is a new, like, alt-right racist symbol.
Wait, are you fucking kidding me?
Nope.
From SPLC, of course.
Does this have anything to do
I
with
I know it's bullshit, but really?
Yeah, it's for real.
Oh my god, 4chan has outdone themselves.
No, it's just 4chan. They just share the things, and the people say it on 4chan. So it's like, it's not. It must be Nazi propaganda. It's like, I need an Alex Jones voice to do this level of conspiracy theory.
The OK hand is a symbol of white power. That is still going around. People still actually believe.
I'm telling you, people, milk is racist.
Milk is racist. Oh my god, it just keeps on going. A-OK, everybody.
Shut up, racist.
Okay, for some reason, the first result when I try to search for it is from mmochampion.com, from a forum.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so is the link? And this is the video we just watched was linked there.
Amazing.
You would think after all the bad press, the SPLC would be a little bit more careful. And then they're like,
no.
We're gonna have the next unite the right rally with everybody in grease paint and fucking red ball noses running around on unicycles.
That's how
you will not replace us, honk honk honk.
Well, it wasn't SPLC, it was Right Wing Watch. I mean, it's still shit, but
that explains enough.
That's how they make money. They just by writing bullshit because apparently there isn't enough hate to go around, at least on another from the right.
Oh, it was written by Jared Holt of all people. I mean,
Jared Holt is a clown person himself.
Oh yeah,
so.
that guy. He's just a professional bullshitter. That's just a way to get money.
Yep.
Money.
Aren't all those woke personalities like that? It's like only the low-level cultists are actually indoctrinated in the cult. People at the top, they know it's a scam. It was every cult.
I would suspect that's the case with Jared Holt because of how many. I only know who he is because he's attacked virtually everybody I watch on YouTube. Like virtually everybody with the most cartoonish, exaggerated bullshit claims at these people, and it's like. The thing is, it's like hard to tell. Like, it's like what they call the Poe effect. You don't know if he's a scammer who knows better or if he's just that fucking retarded. Because people like him are often that retarded.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, eventually, eventually everything.
Maybe he's that retarded, and he just accidentally scams people.
Yeah. I mean, eventually everything is gonna. Yeah, eventually everything is going to finally get into some sort of, like realistic, functioning again, or it's just going to be complete fucking chaos. And I'm going to be looking forward to the fact that somebody has shit that I want and an inability to defend it.
The black pill is looking pretty tasty lately.
Yeah.
Doomer.
So we're getting into the news. What's going on?
Speaking of the news, let's start with something. Well, let's start with.
Nick says we got an intro first and then news.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. So let's introduce our panelists.
What do you think this is, Joe Rogan?
What, you mean I actually got here early enough for intros this time?
Yeah.
Just about.
Anyway, so in the order they appear on my screen, Chairman.
Hey there.
Just Chairman.
Well, it's a Chairman Macho.
I almost called you Chairman LMAO. Oh, I kind of miss Mike Foley.
Kind of.
Anyways, Crystal Philosopher.
Sup?
Darren.
Hey, everybody, I'm an actual skinhead now. Kill yourselves, by the way.
Whoa. James.
Insert witty intro that I couldn't come up with here.
Going meta, okay. Next. Yeah, well, it's with the intro. And then I'm your host. Well, you know who I am.
This is what I was trying to find.
What the hell?
Oh. We already know you're retarded, but thanks for letting. But thanks.
My wife got it for me as a Christmas present. Actually. I've had it sitting to the side
with
forever.
you.
And here is your host, Too High to remember his own name.
Oh, then it's written right here. No, see?
Too high to read.
Oh. Anyway,
3 high, 5 me.
Yeah. Yeah. I will. Let me before we start. Let me quote the scripture for you. There's a point to that. Don't worry, I'm not just trying to. Isaiah 14:14. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High.
The stoners scripture.
And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance down upon thee.
Well, no, by the way, why do you think they talk to a burning bush? It's obviously a metaphor.
Or a really bad case of crabs.
Ooh.
Why?
At least they didn't diddle kids. And speaking of, it's a segue.
Hey!
Speaking of diddling kids.
Oh boy. Well, you probably know where this is going. Don't be hiding from Biden. Well, if you haven't heard, well, let's actually let's play this clip and then talk about why he's in hot water. But we mentioned that last time that he was accused of doing what he was caught doing on camera like many times. So to the surprise of some people who weren't paying attention. And now when like 3 women accused him of doing people.
God.
3? Well, wasn't it 7?
7? No.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I'm still waiting
seven,
for
seven.
I'm
Going
still
on 8,
waiting for the
8, 8. I hear
Democrats
9.
to
Going
come
on
out
9.
screaming for his head.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. He came up with a novel strategy to prove that he isn't, woman respecter. Just watch. Okay, let me boost the volume so you'll hear it louder than I do because
All right, Ralph.
Let's play this.
Live there anymore. We're gonna go home and live with Grandpa. It's only gonna take about a year. Hey, all those kids, you want to come up on the stage? You can come up. It's okay. Come on up. Come on up. Just come and sit here.
Come on, it's a candy.
Come on. Any kids can come up.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that you'll be fine with that.
Well, at least on stage they're probably. What's up with this logo? It's like a fist.
Are you kidding? It's like the kids weren't safe in the middle of the friggin' Congress during swearing-in ceremony.
Union.
By the way, guys,
it's
nothing artificial about. If we don't win, if you don't win, got a problem.
What?
We win their future. But you realize 54% of the American people think their children will never reach the standard of living they've reached. That's never happened before. 54%.
Yeah, thanks, Obama.
He's like slowly morphing into Michael Douglas with cancer.
Michael Douglas was still more coherent, and he's fucking half dead.
Yeah.
Or did he die? I forget.
Well,
No, I think he's still kicking.
yeah.
And
It's like, are you threatening the kids, Joe? You asshole!
all along, but it's up to, by the way, he gave me permission to touch him. All right?
I didn't know!
Jesus Christ.
Why did you sit in the middle?
I don't think that's a valid defense in court. It's like, but the kid allowed me to touch him.
He should really
Shut
not
up,
be
Destiny.
joking.
Who the fuck is your lawyer, Joe? Amos?
But
No, his lawyer is Destiny.
in the last couple seconds, it gets even worse.
If they stand on top of each other, they might almost reach adult height.
I'm hyped to see him bury himself here, this fucking retard.
But listen to the last seconds. It gets worse.
I'm sorry it takes so long, guys, but everybody knows I like kids better than people.
What the fuck?
So basically, what we have seen is a live suicide.
It's career suicide for sure. Yeah.
I didn't know!
It's like,
Did you hear about why Nick Rekieta doesn't do Daddy No jokes anymore?
Yeah, it's, I don't know, whatever.
I literally lived the next town over from where that Eric Watts motherfucker lives. My hometown is less than 8 miles from there.
So, like, did he not understand the original context of that to begin with? It's still dark.
Oh, well, yeah, but I mean, you know, he drinks a lot. And it's also, we don't actually have human empathy for Donga, so I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, duh.
That's the weird thing about stuff like that. It's like, you realize the kids are already dead and you're not making fun of the kids. It just happens to be a 2-word phrase that just...
My favorite thing about this Joe Biden shit, though, is that everybody has known that he, like, really inappropriately touches kids and people are recoiling from him on camera for years.
And he keeps doing it.
The reason why he's getting Me Too'd is because the progressives are trying to torpedo his fucking presidential campaign.
Oh yeah, they don't give a shit about if he raped women or not. It has nothing to do with that. It's blatant.
Isn't this annoying?
They even admit it, I think.
But this is proof that the progressives completely control the narrative. Nothing we say matters until they say it matters.
Exactly.
Well, the funny thing is that I went through the news headlines, and apparently it was far left websites are tearing him a new one, because I mean, like Vox says him, like Slate. What does Slate say, by the way? Let's check out those articles. One moment. Let's see where is it. Okay. Screen capture. Yay. Let's see what Slate says. 7 women have now said, oh yeah, 7. I probably confused him with what's his name, Al Frankenstein. There were like 3 women.
Yeah, I think Joe's worse than Al Franken, because as far as I know, I don't even know if Al Franken actually touched anybody. There was that one girl he kissed, but
well, actually,
I guess that's bad enough.
Well, there was a picture of him pretending to, you know.
Yeah, that entire.
He wasn't physically touching that chick. That picture was silly that anybody was mad about it. I always thought it was more gross about that girl he kissed before that award show, and she actually made her uncomfortable with physical contact.
Yeah. I need to show this.
But,
oh God!
Have you guys seen that meme of Ocasio-Cortez made up to look like what's
that
his
picture
name?
of Al Franken? I think it should have just stayed a bit private. Just like, look, with the girl, if it appears just like, yo, what the shit.
Well, that was the thing. It was private, and then somebody threw it out there to just fucking destroy him.
Oh, Gabriel in the chat says those women are actually lying. They are actually underage girls.
Ooh.
Okay, that was low energy.
Oh, shunned by his target demographic. That must hurt.
So 7 women have now said Joe Biden made them feel uncomfortable with affectionate. Oh yeah, affectionate. Well, that's one way to say it.
Yeah.
We're lost.
I didn't diddle those kids. I was being affectionate.
I forgot all about that one.
Oh, Crystal says that he has computer issues.
Oh no!
Well, anyways, let's check out what the article says. So it's a slate. It's like far leftist rag, but even they tearing them a new one. Several women have now accused Joe Biden of touching them in an overly familiar way that made them feel uncomfortable or embarrassed. Biden released a video on Wednesday saying, "Oh, speaking of, we need to. Before I forget, I need to show what Trump did about this."
Oh God! Yeah, he retweeted a meme.
Oh yeah, the meme that Trump retweeted. That one was epic.
Yeah. So
the shitpost presidency.
Okay, so this is well.
I shake hands. I hug people. I grab men and one by the shoulders and say, "You can do this." And whether they're women, men, young, old, it's the way I've always been. It's the way I try to show I care about them and I'm listening.
I love that Donald Trump retweeted
and we hear the sniffing. It's just
Aren't you guys glad he's back to the shit poster in chief?
Yeah,
talking about the Democrats and their ridiculous bullshit.
Yeah, I'd rather he actually do policy, but at this point, like,
he's trying, but the Ninth Circuit Court is just being a total faggot over and over and over and over again. I mean, it's like
the fact that the Kushners are involved with the White House at all, which is why are
the
they
judges
not
of the
all in
Ninth.
jail?
The judges of the Ninth Circuit Court are just progressive activists at this point. They ruled against the Constitution so many times during the Trump presidency. It's like with a Democrat-controlled House and the Ninth Circuit literally just being an opposition force. It's hard for them to do anything.
Okay. And so that's the thing, though. Isn't the Ninth Circuit out on the West Coast?
I'm pretty sure it's in California.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So why is any court other than the one that the Washington D.C. is in, handling that?
Well, the Ninth Circuit, that whatever ruling they have is completely superseded by a Supreme Court ruling, and the Supreme Court has a habit of striking down just about everything the Ninth Circuit does to the president.
Just remember, there are 9 circles to hell. Just saying.
But yes, it's a pretty good joke actually. But yeah, basically, I think more than once the Ninth Circuit has ruled against Trump, and then the Supreme Court has overturned the Ninth Circuit's decision. And this is even back when the Supreme Court was more left-leaning. It's just the Ninth Circuit is that bullshit.
Wow.
So it's basically they've been activists other than judges for a long time.
Well, yeah, like when they ruled against the quote-unquote Muslim ban, which was a travel ban to 9 specific countries that were terror threats.
Yeah,
and it was just the media lied about it being a Muslim ban. Yeah, exactly. They were all countries that had temporary stays on travel from Obama at one point or another. It's just bullshit. I'm sick to death of that shit. Anyway, back to Joe Biden.
Yeah. So, Biden released a video on Wednesday saying that he hugged people or grabbed their shoulders because of a desire to make a human connection. Yeah, that's one way to put it. Yeah.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Well, at least he did a human connection and didn't try to connect to non-human animals because, who knows.
He's like the advanced version of the Zuckerberg bot. He emotes a little bit better, but he's still pretty non-human.
I don't know. The Assault subroutine seems to get out of its container. I need to look into that in the next version.
And the bias towards white entities.
You said he would.
Maybe if the goddamn Indians would look at the patch notes that I send them.
Sorry, Gleb.
Maybe if the goddamn Indians weren't shitting literally in space.
They have phones there. They can look at fucking tickets while they shit in the street.
Yeah, they just want a meteor shower to illuminate their shitty streets.
Anyways, so this is where it gets good. He said he would try to be a more mindful and respectful of people's personal space because social norms are changing. Well, when was it a social norm to just,
Well,
people?
Change. Where have I heard that word in relation to Biden before?
Those social norms, he's kind of late because they changed like 20, nearly 30 years ago.
I want to know when it is that sexual assault was ever okay.
Well, yeah, and what I would tell Joe if I could sit him down and I'd be like, Joe, the hands on the shoulders.
Did it.
Yeah, the hands on the shoulders is fine. It's kind of paternalistic. It's fine. But when you lean down and you got your lips and your nose right on people's faces, not okay. You got to stop that,
or
Joe.
when, like, during the swearing-in ceremonies for various, like, congressmen or appointees or whatever, and he's, like, stroking the child's face, and it's like...
he's really
getting them. Don't forget
getting all ye up in there.
Yeah, and he's doing this on camera. He's like touching the chests of 7-year-old girls and stuff. It's like there's so many videos of grown women, little kids, 13-year-old girls and stuff where they're like cringing away from him, and he's oblivious to it, and it's on camera.
I don't think he's oblivious. Or just some of it. I just think he doesn't.
Well, yeah, probably not. Yeah, I'm just saying that there's somebody has to tell him not to do this.
This only became a problem because they realized he would probably be unopposed if he ran, and they don't want that because they want.
Yeah. And now Funimation isn't going to let him voice act anything anymore. He's kicked off the next Dragon Ball Z movie.
Wait, Biden?
Yeah, it's a Vic Mignogna joke.
Oh.
Although Vic Mignogna never did any of the kind of shit Joe Biden did. Like, it's completely different context.
He was a good wop. He didn't do nothing.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Is like when it, like, just, not to get too sidetracked, but if Vic Mignogna had done even a tenth of the stuff that he was accused of, oh my God, we would have heard a lot more about it We would have
publicly available videos because he's filmed every single public appearance he's ever made in 20 years. You could make a streaming service. You'd have enough content to supply it.
All it's been is side hugs and a quick kiss on the cheek. That's fine. It's completely different than sniffing people and like playing with their hair.
What's even funnier is
like Kurtwood Smith sniffs coke in RoboCop. Jesus.
Yes.
Oh, but by the way, since Susan said that he said that we will be more respectful, well, Vox is actually, making him a new one because of let's actually see this one because this one is, I think, will be funnier. Okay. Former Vice President Joe Biden began his first speech since numerous women publicly accused him of inappropriate touching by joking about inappropriate touching. Yeah, like just
goddamn potato Negroes.
Amazing optics.
They can't really help themselves, can they?
You can't acknowledge that with kids right in front of you. It's just, that is literally the word I would use. It's just the worst optics. It's
Go
unbelievable.
back to your home country and bomb people, you fucking Irishman.
Now we just need to make the meme where it's Joe Biden looking at a kid and saying, "Fuck the optics, I'm going in."
Spicy. Anyway, so
what's the similarity between an Arab and an Irishman?
I don't know.
They both explode and they both touch kids.
That's a pretty good one.
I thought it was something about goat fucking.
So what? When if there was a superhero who's a Irish Muslim, so what? He fell in a vat of redundancy.
I don't know. What's the difference between a fag and a loaf of bread?
I don't know.
Remind me never to send you grocery shopping, then.
I love anti-jokes like that.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see.
I'm still more mad about like when he showed up on stage and he's like, the white race will be a minority by 2025 or something, and just like thunderous applause, and I'm just like,
oh yeah,
okay, fuck right off, dude. No, stop that. And he's done that more than once, so fuck this guy.
Yes. Yeah, but they misunderstand him when he says that he really loves minorities.
Why would you celebrate
Just like that woman did.
Why
And
would
that
you
other
celebrate
one. And that other
anyone disappearing / becoming in a minority?
Then why is he so fucking keen on little blonde white girls then? He seems to like Aryans just fine.
Well, he's role-playing as a minority.
I never liked those fucking memes because they made like Obama and Joe Biden look like harmless and they not like they were fucking globalist, authoritarian, fucking war hawk fucking thugs.
Yeah.
Fuck the both of them. It's like appearances are deceiving. I wish progressives would learn that. Like, oh yeah, he smiles and he's so charming like a movie star, but have you looked at what he actually does from the fucking office, you fucking retards? He's a monster.
Anyway, so let's go to the like the title. Biden turns inappropriate dashing accusations into a punchline. Biden promised to be more mindful. His latest speech suggests he's not living up to that. Well, you don't say.
Womp womp.
I'll be more conscious the next time I grope someone.
Yeah. He will ask permissions from kids to grope them before groping them. So path to recovery. Later during the speech, Biden made a second joke about inappropriate touching when a group of kids joined him on stage. By the way, he gave him permission to touch him. Biden said, his hand draped around the boy's shoulder.
Can you imagine that scene in the green room where Joe Biden kneels in front of little Pedro or whoever that kid was and just goes, I'm going to have to actually touch you on stage in order to improve my image. Are you okay with me touching you?
It's very touching.
No, Joe. No, Uncle
If
Joe.
you don't,
no.
I'm gonna fuck your Xbox.
And then he gives little Pedro a big hug and sniffs his hair.
Oh Jesus!
Some other picture is not related.
Oh yeah, these. I remember these.
Yeah, and these are actual album covers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That guy. We'll go back one image. That guy in the right looks literally like he walked out of a Mike Judge cartoon, like Beavis and Butthead.
Oh God.
Like, go down the
Look at the guy. Does he remind you of what's the name of this crazy, TV anchor who was fired and then had this GQ show where he was yelling at Trump in his basement?
Yeah, what's his name?
Olbermann.
Yeah, that looks like Olbermann in the middle there, or on the left.
On the left.
What's his name?
Keith Olbermann.
Olbermann.
Yeah, so it's Olbermann, Colbert, Jerry Falwell, and a testicle.
Probably Spino in a few years. Like Spino in 20 years. I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
Yeah, like Spino by his mid-30s. And there's Patti LaBelle and Joe Pesci.
I don't know if he has the good genes to maybe possibly keep his hair. So it's mostly a guess.
Uncle D talks with Charlie and Shayla.
I love how he's even wearing the classic pedo turtleneck. He's like all in.
Well, they don't call him Uncle D for nothing.
Hold on. I'm gonna look for a pic. It's just funny one.
And by the way,
it's like silence. I molest you.
Also, by the way, the worst one from my collection is this.
There
it's almost as if they did it on purpose. I mean, come on.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! And this is an actual thing.
Yeah, I thought it was a parody, but no, apparently.
Produced by Jailbait Records.
I've put it in our Discord.
Missionary 1615.
So yeah, I put it in our Discord. It's just how somehow this man managed to look like at the same time as a child and a child molester.
Oh, let me zoom out a bit. Yeah, that's.
Oh, wow!
I believe you have my stapler.
Yeah, it's just missing some glasses, and it's Milton.
Crap! He looks like a younger version or the younger brother of the guy from Human Centipede 2.
I don't know. I don't know that.
I liked my Office Space. I liked my Office Space reference a little bit better.
Yeah, me too.
I did as well.
Oh my god, what the hell is wrong with my camera today?
Well, as opposed to your camera never works properly.
Yeah.
As far as I remember.
No, it's like the friggin' like my PlayStation camera usually works. Like this is the friggin' Xbox camera.
Oh god!
Oh my
why did I click this? God damn you, Darren!
Oh, did you see my Alexandria Ocasio-Manson?
Yes, that's
meme?
why I said God damn.
Yeah, Glenn, put that up real quick. It's off topic, but it's too hilarious not to look at.
God damn you! God damn it!
Perfect.
Just.
This would be Cortez in an alternate reality.
Do you guys remember when Bering had that meme of the Manson eyes with the Law and Order SVU bong bong noise, and they just put the Manson eyes over people? She literally has the same eyes as this guy. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Also, have you seen the video? She did a live stream on Twitter, I think, or Instagram, whatever. She did a live stream, and she was sitting on. She wasn't like on a chair or anything. She was on the fucking ground. It's like, don't you have a fucking chair, or do you want, or are you doing a Gollum kid cosplay?
I really want to hear this because remember Tim Pool's been saying lately that there was a study that was done where they looked at the way Democrats talk to black caucuses and black people and the way Republicans talk to them, and Republicans talk to them like normal. And they talk to black people like Trump talks in general. Just really small words, repetition.
Oh, it's even worse. Oh God, this.
Please, Trump. It's always he always speaks like that. So someone has an.
How dare Trump steal our shtick?
I like fried chicken and hot sauce. It's like, remember whenever Hillary goes down south and all of a sudden she's got a real Arkansas accent again?
Yeah, Hillary did that too.
Again.
Let's play this.
This is what organizing looks like.
That's right.
This is what building power looks like. This is what changing the country looks like. It's when we choose to show up and occupy the room and talk about the things that matter most, talking about our future. You know,
I can't decide if her hand motions are black or Italian. I feel offended.
I'm proud to be a bartender. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Retail folding clothes for other people to buy. There is nothing wrong with preparing the food that your neighbors will eat. There is nothing wrong with driving the buses that take your family to work.
That was so fucking painful to listen to.
That was just embarrassing. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah. There's a certain level of mannerism.
If you're going to do that, put effort into it so they can at least say you tried.
Just remember, she is...
either commit or not at all.
Yeah, that's the thing. She isn't putting it all the way. It's just like, nah.
That's why Black Twitter unironically says if you could recast Robert Downey Jr. in the Marvel Cinematic Universe with a black actor, who would it be? And they all put Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because and the thing is, dude, she is not even that Latin. She's from an upper class New York fucking family.
Oh, she's from like Westchester or some shit.
Yeah, like one of the nice neighborhoods
in Bobby Meisner bus tables.
She says she's from the Bronx. It's like, yeah, right. You're
no,
still right.
No, she's not. She's not from the, her dad was a businessman who made quite a lot of money, and she grew up in one of the nicer suburbs north of the city.
Oh, so she's literally the same thing as Bobby Meisner. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't grow up like super duper rich, but she grew up pretty rich. Like,
well, she grew up with the average house price is around $500,000.
Yeah. Yeah, so she doesn't talk like that. She's not from the South. Dude, black people in New York don't even talk like that. That's like Alabama black people voice. You can't do that. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, this is...
Stop appropriating. This is not the culture. This is cultural appropriation on the same level.
But I want to reiterate what I just said. Black people from New York don't talk like that, which means her fucking... her being around, she has not really been around black people from the area she was raised in.
Oh yeah, I can vouch for this too, because where I work, there's a lot of black people from the Pittsburgh area because it's in Pittsburgh. But you can tell the people who aren't You could tell the black people who aren't from the area. You could tell that one of them is from South Carolina, the other's from Ohio, because they sound different.
This is very important. If you want to talk to black people, do not just learn how to talk to them from a Tyler Perry movie. They do not all talk like that.
Yeah. Oh, Black Lord, hello, welcome to the stream.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm late.
By the way, I just wanted to show this, so to say that she is used to, pretend to being someone she's not. By the way, I did not.
Yeah, and by the way, people from New York, they probably all picked up the accent the Jews had at that region. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
I didn't edit this at all. This is the image they posted in this article originally.
I revealed it.
I know.
This isn't even my final form, Goy.
That's why I think someone did it on purpose, and someone who works in probably where did this come from? From Associated Press, I think. And
oh my God! I think she did that intentionally, the same way she was trying to do like the clapping in the previous video. I think it's like a child trying to imitate like I'm a person from this country. Fucks a goat.
Well, it wasn't from this event. It was.
So is she pulling a more localized Trudeau, but with speaking instead of disguises?
Oh, that's right. Trudeau pulls mustachio disguising. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's basically he's like a Scooby-Doo villain. That's it. He's a Scooby-Doo villain.
Oh, you've never seen that film by Dana Carvey, have you? That probably lost you.
And at the next election, he will say, "I would have gotten reelected if it weren't for you meddling conservatives," because it's probably them who's going to win the next election. Trudeau just,
to be honest, I'm actually surprised they have not done a recall vote and a no confidence on him yet.
Well, and then after the conservatives get elected, the Chinese would be like, "We're here for our property now."
Yeah,
because they basically own all of Canada.
Yeah, no.
I like how your intelligence agency wrote an entire dossier about this in the 90s, and then we'll look at it later, eh?
I like how she's pretending that she had a Bronx accent on in there. No.
Yeah, let's read her excuses. So, folks talking about my voice can step right off. Women's March and Kavanaugh speech, same. What? Any kid who grew up in a distinct linguistic culture and had to learn to navigate class environs at schoolwork knows what's up. My Spanish is the same way. These conspiracy mills are garbage.
So she admits it. Honey, that's not a defense if you admit it without
justifying it.
So she's saying I talk to everybody by mimicking their fucking accent, and she thinks that's normal. That's not fucking normal.
Oh, also,
I'm gonna speak my accent, and sometimes when I'm really having fun, I can somewhat turn a tiny bit British, but that's just because I watched a ton of British YouTubers.
People do this by accident and is like a partial evolutionary thing.
Also, people who are
this shit intentionally.
Yeah, and by the way, people who are autistic often mimic people's accents without even thinking about it.
Yeah, they just do it at a much faster rate than normal.
Yeah. So there's no way this makes her look good. But first of all, that's not a Bronx accent. She was clearly doing a Bible Belt black voice. You can't get away with this, you dumb bitch.
Does that mean when she talks
she went full
Baptist preacher. Spot the difference.
She went full Baptist preacher. There ain't nothing wrong.
Exactly.
There ain't nothing wrong, people. Let's preach.
Nah, it was more like fat black woman from the.
I'm doing fat
wasn't
black
quite preacher.
I'm doing fat black priest, so.
He's doing the David Manning thing.
Oh, you messy.
Valley Girl or
Yep.
You hit the nail on the head. That's just what I was about to say. And by the way, even though she grew up in the Bronx, the way you can tell she's an upper class person, it's upper class thoughts like AOC, no matter where they're from, all have a Southern California Valley Girl accent.
They also pronounce their R's.
Because their parents just handed them an iPad and they were fucking raised by Instagram. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
My first digital technology was
Be
a
gone.
speak and spell, and then the fucking DOS briefly. I see RGB, nigga.
Yeah.
That'd be like if we all came on here and just be like,
pronounces her R's.
"Hello,
yeah.
Gleb. Thank you for letting me on the show. I'm going to talk like I am from Latvia now."
Sound more like Mario. It's me, Mario.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to work on the
appropriating-
Latvian a little bit.
Now you're appropriating my culture.
Let's start
No,
talking
my-
like Andy.
Oh, you're gonna talk like a CIA disinformation plant
The
too?
culture where I'm from, I would need my broken French accent on English. And I'm just refusing. I want to strangle any French person who speak usually, just because of the horrendous accent that I worked hard to not have it.
Well, apparently, according to
you
Walter
don't like
Koenig,
the
the only
French
thing you
accent.
need to sound Ukrainian is sound like a little Italian lady. Except do it. Like, I don't know if it's all. It's weird. Like, Walter Koenig literally sounds like my aunt at like 60, except he sounded like that when he was 20. I don't know if it's a Ukrainian accent or what.
Doing the Ukrainian accent is really easy. You just need to put on a pair of headphones, turn the volume up to max, and put drum and bass on, and then try to hold a conversation with somebody. What are you talking about?
I don't even think it's a Ukrainian accent. I just think Walter Koenig has just hilariously always sounds like my late aunt, and I don't know why. He sounded like that in the 60s too when he was in his 20s. I don't get it. Like, how do you always sound like an old Italian woman? What part of Ukraine do you come from?
The potato wine part, yeah.
Potato wine. That's a good way of calling vodka. That's more chic.
Polacks make great vodka. I have a bottle of Chopin upstairs. It's fucking good.
Has Gleb's? Oh yeah, he said. Yeah, I was wondering. Has Gleb's disappeared?
Gleb's like, we're all talking randomly about inappropriate accents. It's time for me to go pee and get a bunch of water.
Yeah, it's time for his
Maybe he felt
medication.
offended because if it wasn't probably him and Macho have the most ethnic sounding accents on this fucking stream.
Probably. Well, we certainly are in the minority.
Latvia is not the real country.
Now you're
That's
you're
a really
making
good Dame Pesos.
I know, it's scary.
I know. I was linking more to V.
Just don't talk for a while and just say juice. Okay.
Oh my god.
You know, I would say Apex is probably also up there, but he's not here, so
yeah, I don't know where he is.
Well, it's not that much. He doesn't. Well, he has an accent, but it's not.
It's definitely not. You can tell Dame is way far south.
Yeah.
Latin America.
Yeah, where things are a little bit less ridiculous.
I love when I think Dick asked him what they drink down there, and he said, Corona. And Ralph's like, are you serious? Yes. You put lime and salt in it? Yes, we do.
Where is...
It's like the most stereotypical thing. Yeah, most people are stereotypes. That's why they exist.
Yeah, that's why I always love when that crow starts crowing, like in Puerto Rico, and I'm like, how? Like, has the sun already up?
Now,
Crow.
Because he has a Puerto Rican stereotype.
When I was in college, it was the same thing, but with an owl at the back of my apartment. If you heard the owl, it was still night.
But I can't hate on him at all, by the way, because if you've ever had an egg right from out from under the chicken's ass in the morning for breakfast, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
they're delicious.
Yeah, now that's fresh.
Actually nutritious as opposed to the shit you get in the supermarket.
Oh yeah, always get like farm fresh, cage free eggs. They cost like fucking.
But it's
$6.
illegal to sell them.
Just don't get them with the green sea monster tutu milk. By the way, the real reason why Luke died at the end of the movie, poisoning.
Yeah. He died from radioactive space titty milk.
Oh, Jesus.
Most likely. Probably gave him cancer.
It's not even the right color milk. Oh my God, Ryan, you round-headed idiot.
At least
that's a good impression.
It's like, come on, they could have at least
made
it blue.
Ryan, what is wrong with you?
Well, that was the point, because blue milk is Bantha's milk, and you don't get it anywhere outside of Tatooine. But this green, it wasn't just green. It was the specific shade of green, like the worst, least appetizing shade of green ever.
What it looked like was melted fucking McShamrock fluid. If you've ever had a McShamrock shake and you just pour it out in a glass, that's exactly what it looked like, except runny.
But yeah, it's
which
like
is just a mint shake that
chickens.
McDonald's chills in March.
I remembered a story about a guy who had a pet goose, and apparently in his town they banned having geeses. So yeah, his neighbor or the town went to court with him, and it's like, no, the law specifically states you can't have geeses in plural. So if you have a single goose, that's all right.
I have geese in my yard all the time. Like a couple of Canadian geese have like fucking laid claim to my yard, and it's like having French people sleeping in your backyard. You just hear them going honk 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 honk.
Yeah.
I guess specifically Parisians, because Parisians are faggots.
Yeah,
I remember.
It's not French people. Remember, the annoying French people are from Paris. Because even normal French people don't like Parisians.
Every other time I talk to Dan, he's like, fucking French people. I hate them.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I fucking hate French people. If I'm racist against any peoples on earth, like for real racist, I hate Chinese people and I hate the French. I hate the French a lot.
The Eastern Jew and the I don't know what you would call the French people.
French
Jews.
I hate the Gallic people. They are an inferior white race.
Oh, now that's fighting words with Dan because he's part Nord.
Yeah.
Not that kind of Gallic peoples.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
He might kill you last then.
Yeah, we might have a problem. Here we might have a problem too.
Well,
after you both kill the French, you two can fight to the death. Although you'll have the advantage.
Anyways,
aren't you also from South America?
What?
No, Chairman Macho. I forget where he's from.
No, I'm from Quebec. I'm literally.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Every time we bring this up, I say the only thing that's worse than the French are French Canadians. Fuck you, Macho.
Anyways, I was trying to say.
Sorry.
Why did you use the air horn?
Well, I'm being courteous and like. Anyways, what I was trying to say is
that use a horn. Then he got
as I was saying,
kick Nick.
Yeah, just want to show a glorious shitpost that for some reason has too few views because it's fucking pure gold. It's like why you shouldn't drink green milk. I mean, anyways, let me just play it.
Master Skywalker, I'm from the Resistance. Your sister Leia sent me. We need your help.
I'm getting notices that if copyright, it's fair use. Fucking Google.
That makes more sense with the design of the hut, to be honest.
Yeah.
It does look like an outhouse.
I hate this movie so much. I get triggered
Everyone
every time it
does.
shows up.
Yeah, me
I
too.
can't even enjoy memes about it. That's so sad.
Well, the fucking finale's coming out this year. What a shitty way to end this decade, huh?
They haven't even put out any teaser trailers yet. It's coming out this year.
Yeah,
It should.
They must be scared of it. They must be scared of the reaction.
It's gonna lose money again, like Solo lost money.
I don't think it would lose money necessarily, but it will underperform for sure.
Yeah.
It depends on how much they spend to promote.
And people.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, they were also planning maybe on a Obi-Wan one-off. It's like, yeah, if you don't put McGregor, or did
why? It's so weird why they didn't go with the Obi-Wan movie as opposed to Solo.
Yeah.
The other thing is that The Last Jedi barely made money, and it took till the home video release for them to do that. And that's purely because Johnson spent way too much fucking money on it, and then with the marketing, it barely made even up until the home video release, and then it was in the black, but just barely.
And Solo lost money because Kathleen Kennedy fired the directors and reshot about half the fucking movie with Ron Howard. And part of that was because the guy they hired to play fucking Han Solo couldn't act, and they had to shoot forever because he couldn't get a scene right. Like, that's how bad he was.
Didn't they want to make like a? Weren't they originally planning to making like a sequel to Solo, or am I hallucinating that?
No, that's what the shit with Darth Maul was for at the end.
Oh,
yeah.
That would have dovetailed nicely into an Obi-Wan movie, but fuck logic and having nice things.
Yeah. Yeah, the Darth Maul thing, that was clearly a sequel bait.
And every time they use anything from the expanded universe and use it really fucking poorly, like wasn't Solo partly about like the Black Sun Mafia guys?
No, they invented their own Crimson Cringe shit.
No,
I
can't stand to watch this shit anymore. I actually didn't even pirate Solo. I just do not fucking care anymore.
The only good part about it was the train scene that everyone laughs at. It's like, there's so much other anachronistic shit in the majority of Star Wars. At least that section was fun. Why would you need trains to transport fuel? The same reason we use trains, because it's fucking cheap.
Yeah.
Or you could use a spaceship, but it's cheaper to use a train.
Yeah, like nowadays you can use planes to deliver cargo, but
it wasn't
locally usually it's cheaper.
It wasn't the MacGuffin in the movie some kind of like hyperspace fuel or something?
That's the weird part. It's like it's fuel in a volatile state, but so really it's not even a MacGuffin. It's just fucking gasoline.
Part of the strength of the Star Wars universe, by the way, is that they don't really go into tech very much. They just let it all go so that you can have whatever your imagination says. It's a strong point.
Yeah, it's pretty ambiguous. Yeah,
they should have. It should have been like crystals used to make hyperdrive. So it's like, hey, we can make unlicensed hyperdrives with that, so we don't have a record of them.
And then they could turn it into a really fucking atrocious analog for 3D printed guns.
Yeah, just leave the tech shit to Trekkies and the 40K crowd. The best part about Star Wars is the tech shit doesn't matter. You can just put whatever the fuck in there. Who cares? Just let it go.
That's because, the tech shit really doesn't matter because Star Wars is mostly a fantasy in a sci-fi setting. That's generally how it should be.
Exactly.
But now
it's fantasy if you replace swords with laser swords. And am I the only one who cringed out of my fucking skull when Hamill said that shit? You expect me to go to the First Order and fight them with a laser sword? Like, no one has ever called a lightsaber. What the fuck?
Actually, I used to have old fucking Star Wars books and shit where they said laser sword fairly often.
Yeah, but like in the movies, they never called it that. It's like if somebody called a fuck.
I don't understand that because it's like he's talking to a layman that he has no respect for. That's why he said laser sword. It was like being snide.
But even layman's know them as fucking lightsabers because Jedis are the only people that use it.
They can't make up their mind whether Jedis are well known throughout the galaxy or a myth that nobody believes ever existed in the first place. I mean, the lore is fucked to begin with.
It's like, wouldn't have everyone heard about this school if everyone has heard about Luke Skywalker except for this backwoods bucktooth horse face looking fucking bitch?
I mean, the prequels ruined everything. I hate how Disney Star Wars is so bad that people are starting to say, like, oh, the prequels are good.
No, I'm not. No, we're not giving them the fucking prequels because you still had great shit after the prequels, even though it fucked up the
because the Jedi were supposed to be like a nomadic monastic order that they weren't supposed to be Team America World Police. Like,
except
the fucking prequels
they kind of fucking were, even in A New Hope. Did you listen to Ben's speech?
Yeah.
Well, he said they got involved in a war.
No, he said they were knights. Yeah, he actually made that explicit.
Oh, okay.
In the
well,
first
then it
film.
Doesn't make any sense that like everybody talked about, like, oh, your religion and Jedi are a myth and shit to Vader. Like,
because that was like fucking 20, 30 years later.
Oh my God, Glebs, in your background you have swastikas. Confirmed.
Also, Vader fucking killed them all, so nobody has seen one in about 20 years. Oh man, that's amazing.
It's okay if they're swastikas, though, because the Nazis were just a myth. They never actually existed because they're more than 30 years ago.
I mean...
Yeah, if it didn't happen in my lifetime, it didn't happen at all, so...
Exactly.
I mean...
you could maybe get away with it because it's a galactic event. Like, maybe some... Yeah, I don't know. It's stupid.
Yeah.
We shouldn't talk about this. It could go on forever.
It would make sense that a totalitarian government would suppress information on, like, what happened the previous government.
Yeah.
But then to have one of these myths basically destroy the totalitarian government, nobody still knows who they are. That's a little sus.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, wait a minute. You literally have no excuse not to know about this now. They literally just saved your ass.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a good point to segue back into something like I don't know, maybe the Yellow Vests doing their little rebellion shtick.
Segues, I have actually a topic that is relevant. There it is.
I was about to say, what the hell were we even talking about?
Well, we were talking about Joe Biden.
Oh my God.
We went from Joe Biden to Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Why can't they just leave the audience alone? This is such a bad idea.
Yeah.
So you can see the Lucasfilm employee participating in doxing of a popular Last Jedi parody account. So, he even made a parody account of this parody account to dox him. And, this doxing account tagged a lot of people with real information of this, who runs that account. And this is Brian Young, who works for Lucasfilm and the blue check mark. Talking about this as if he isn't behind this account, and he is. Later, there's.
Wait, is this a gay op?
So this Brian,
it is an operation of the homosexual variety. Yes.
Yeah. So
oh God, what is it with Star Wars fans and ruining all of our credibility with gay ops? Stop doing this, you fuck.
It's not fans. It's not fans. It's the shills. So this guy Brian Young, he's a Lucasfilm employee, and he also has. He runs this account that's Ergo the Man-Child. He doxed a critic of The Last Jedi, and then as his normal account retweeted it. And I'll show evidence that it's him because they have very similar writing styles. Not very
Wait a minute. Now I'm confused because there's like multiple layers of what the fuck is going on here. So a pro The Last Jedi asshole has a parody account that he used to dox himself, or he doxed somebody else.
No. Wait. Okay. Let me clarify. So there was someone who had the account Ruin the Man Babies, like a parody of Ryan Johnson. Then there's a parody account of that account, and that parody account is run by this Brian Young.
And he's a shill. He's a shill, right?
Yeah, he's a shill. He works for Lucasfilm, and he runs this account that doxed critic of
How salty do you have to be as a Lucasfilm employee to make parody accounts of people who don't like your movie?
I'm just wondering. There's that. I'm wondering what the fuck is up with Disney employees. What the fuck is going on? Why do they have jobs? Period. Especially at Disney.
Do we want to take bets to speculate that this guy's on the spectrum?
Yeah,
Probably.
Everybody is on the spectrum nowadays, so it wouldn't be much of a guess.
Do you know what a corporate progressive rot is? I forget if that's the right word for it, but it's a lot like Nurgle's rot from fucking 40K. Basically, if you have progressives infiltrate your company and they get into HR and hiring, they will only hire other progressives. And as we know, progressives are pathological liars, man babies, autists of the bad variety. No offense to good variety autists. And they only hire their kind until all the company is staffed by incompetent, childish bitches like this. How is this acceptable? Is there nobody at your multi-billion-dollar corporation saying, hey, Brian Young, don't fucking do that? It's okay to hate them. It's okay to talk shit about them, but don't do this where everybody can see you. You fucking retard.
Oh, but by the way, here's evidence that this is the same. See those ellipses, which even were grammatically incorrect, like right before the question mark. And this account that doxes critics, it also has the same writing style, and it's not again.
Really, so somebody who uses ellipses instead of commas because he's a fucking autist? God damn it, dude.
Yeah, especially ellipses before the question mark. That's really grammatically incorrect.
Oof.
Oh, this makes me fucking angry. I'm sick and tired of dude, companies need to fire people who do this because this is what's costing you money. You can do all sorts of shit. You can even propagandize to us in the movies, but the one thing nobody's going to let go is if you directly attack your customers. Do not fucking do that. Stop it. Fuck's sake.
Hey, Angry Joe, listen to this.
Yes.
Did you just call me Angry Joe?
No, it says somewhere. No, if for some obscure reason, Angry Joe would listen to us, just listen to him.
Enraged Enrique.
I hate Angry Joe a little bit less, by the way, because he showed up to one of Rageaholic's pro Michael Jackson streams, and he was just going off like Alex Jones in the comments saying MJ is innocent, and he was planning on doing a video. And he didn't acknowledge me, but I said directly to him, I added him and said, you don't have the balls to do the video. Your progressive friends would eviscerate you.
And they will. They probably will.
I hope he does it though, because he clearly actually cares. He's on the right side of one issue for once.
Yeah.
Still talk has to be right twice a day. But by the way,
if he does this video, he would just attack people. Just say, "Oh, you're too uneducated to understand this innocent." It's like, oh, come on.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to switch the topic to fucking piss Pedro, but fucking yeah. I like that T-shirt though. Star Wars is for everyone, unless Brian Young or Ryan Johnson or Kathleen Kennedy or fucking whoever the fuck.
It's pretty accurate.
But this is proof that the black pill is going, because look, if incompetent stupid thoughts like Susan Wojcicki and Kathleen Kennedy can be running important shit like this, and they're fucking it up constantly, and they have zero customer faith, and nobody fires them. There's nobody around saying, hey, this person's got to go, they're clearly a detriment to my fucking company. They just don't care anymore. They're just all psychopaths.
Well, at least they cannot buy loyalty and shame people into liking them. So at least we'll see those. When several big franchises die a horrible death because of incompetence, well, maybe companies will finally notice.
Even the kind of corporate executives from the 80s would look at these people and go, what the fuck are you doing? You know? You're attacking the customer. You're ruining the brand. You're fucking destroying faith, loyalty, and camaraderie between you and the customer. You're doing absolutely everything wrong just because you're butthurt about politics that have nothing to do with your business or your product. What the fuck is wrong with you? Stop it. Fuck's sake.
Stop it. Stop it.
Help.
Stop it.
Yeah, get some help.
Get some help.
Stop it. Get some help.
This is again. At least normies are waking up to this. You know, some people only woke up.
Normies rise
They're
up.
only gonna wake up just to hit the alarm again. Don't.
You know, you know, for some people, the wake up call was the Gamergate.
Yeah, that was me. I didn't know any better before that. Because I was sitting there minding my own business, and all of a sudden I just hear, oh, by the way, there's like hordes of thousands and thousands of people who think you're a piece of shit and want you to die. And I'm like, why? What the fuck did I do? And the more you look into it, the more you're like, holy shit, these people are pure unadulterated evil. What the fuck? And I've been just going like, what the fuck is wrong with you ever since? Like, if you want to be a bleeding heart progressive, be like Bono or fucking Bill Gates. Go give your time to charity, form a Rock Aid concert or some shit. Actually do something positive instead of sitting there saying, I'm the good guy, which means it's totally okay when I take up the fucking fascies and start beating people over the fucking head with it and fucking making heads roll. Like, that's not how this works.
It's almost Bono, though. Bill Gates.
Well, Bono is an insufferable prick, but he's not a fucking, like, demonizing asshole. You know,
he's not. Well, maybe he is, but it definitely certainly not as bad of an extent as. Well, I'm fucking better than you.
Yeah.
All right, Anna.
Well, he certainly goes as he's better than anyone. So, but yeah, a true philanthropist. That's Bill Gates.
Speaking of Anna, since you mentioned her, trying to. Inject myself back into the stream, but yeah.
I mean, you are the host. I mean, you've been rather passive for the past couple of minutes ever since I got here.
Well, I want to show a shit post since you mentioned her and okay, let me.
One time I was fucking a monkey I saw in the jungle, and I was feeling alright. Hey, I'm not a monkey. So I guess I'll go and fuck that monkey again.
I just realized Anna, she's like a white Cortez.
Yes.
Yeah, white nationalists adopt clowns as their next racist symbol.
Yeah, it's Jared Holt. What do you expect? Of course, it will kill your brain cells. But let's take a look at this. A white nationalist adopt clown as their next racist symbol. Yes, seriously. I mean, everything is a racist symbol.
I just saw that on Twitter. Oh my god.
Online personalities in far-right and white nationalist online circles are attempting to attribute racism and anti-Semitism to an image of cartoon character Pepper the Frog depicted poorly drawn. No, come on. Jared Holt couldn't draw it even like that. Like his talent was completely, and writing isn't his talent either, as you can see clearly. And as a clown, and speaking of poorly written, image of cartoon character Pepper the Frog depicted poorly drawn and as a clown. Well, poorly drawn as a clown. Well,
poorly drawn caricature. You could say crude caricature of Pepe as a clown. Or clown face, or whatever the fuck terminology you want to use.
Of course not. He can't say anything simply. Come on, who do you think he is? Einstein?
Educated? No, you're right.
Da Vinci. Bless you again.
Far-right proponents want the broader internet to believe the character directly represents their worldview. What?
How does he? It's like, how does a clown represent anything political?
What does the clown say? Honk, 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 honk.
I was about to say, a clown, using a clown to represent your views is kind of a pretty fucking stupid thing to do.
Yeah, isn't that the entire joke of we live in a society? Yes, it is.
Yes, we live in a society. Yes, we do.
But it's even better. But the situation in the whole represents an attitude shift in far-right circles online and slow inching towards even more radical elements. Yeah, this is so fucking radical.
It's basically Dadaism as a meme. Well, no, it is Dadaism, period. Or edging close. Well, that's...
Which know your meme researchers. Well, he's being completely serious when he uses such academic sources as know your meme.
Oh my god!
Research.
God,
identified as being known as honk honk or honker.
Damn, son, you're getting paid for this.
Honkler? Honkler? Oh my god, these people do not know they're being memed. He doesn't even have the mustache. How is he Honkler? For fuck's sake.
And even his source actually.
And that's the trolliest Pepe. If you can't tell from his eyes, you must have autism. Like anyone who can understand human expression.
No, an autistic person could actually understand that. Remember, autists made this.
In February 2019, racist and anti-Semitic variations of the character named Honkler began appearing on the troll board.
Oh my god!
Honkler! Of course, those variants would be there. It's the whole point.
That isn't him, though. That isn't him. What are you doing?
Remember, like, a long time ago, some company decided to start selling T-shirts with those, meme faces of that era, and 4chan decided to make those memes unfamily friendly by making a lot of racist memes with these meme faces and spreading them around to discourage companies from doing that. And
the only thing I have to say anymore is sorry.
It really is
Can't
Clown
help.
World up in here.
Yes, it's getting unreal at this point. And of course, the most important news over there in the top right corner: Jim Carrey and Alessandra Mussolini's Twitter feud, which was the cringiest fucking thing to happen this week.
Quick, we need Clown World to distract from the Clown World. Help!
And look, there's another like 4chan spread meme up there at the top. The gay guy who's got the the "I Got Something That You Want" song. That guy.
God.
These people are so cartoonish. Oh well, this is actually a know your meme. This is actually know your meme saying that this is right wing. Fuck. Oh my god.
Well, they're not saying.
The formatting.
I thought you were still looking at right wing watch, and then you scrolled up, and I was like, oh come on.
Well, the right wing watch is worse, obviously. But
at least it's not behind your meme.
In recent months, the meme has gained a foothold in the far right and bleeding into racist propaganda. Pepe the Frog, originally from the comic, blah 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 blah. On 4chan, there is an abundance of memes depicting the character lynching black people. Of course, there is 4chan. Depicted in stereotypically racist ways. Operating gas chambers and deploying racial slurs.
Like how Obama deployed them drones.
Deploying.
4chan Politically Correct Forum Board launched Operation Honk. And these retards like Jared Holt are playing right into their hand.
Why does this guy write like he uses a Mad Libs book to fucking write his articles? The mission of spreading the character and
because he probably wrote it on a fucking phone.
This guy just uses random verbs. Just completely random verbs that are improper.
He's using autocorrect to make this entire article. Haven't you noticed?
I'm not even talking about how bad he spells. I mean, like his verbs are improperly used. He's a fucking weirdo.
Listen to this.
He's literally just typing words and hopes people will go along with it.
Oh, like there's like a tap every middle word from your suggestion list on the phone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They will adopt our child and post Honkler on social. What adopt our child?
Well, it's.
Oh, whoa! We're not talking about Joe Biden here, Jared.
Adopt us. You will not adopt us.
The idea is that people on 4chan don't like when normies adopt their memes, so they want to make those memes unfamily friendly, so normies wouldn't use them.
We're on like layer 34 of irony at this point. Reading this is unbelievable.
This is exactly like this. I don't remember what it was called, but when like in mid 2000s, where those forever alone, those kind of memes, and those memes were bleeding into mainstream, and 4chan decided to make them unpolitically correct, so normies would fuck off. It's exactly the same thing. And post Honkler social media under mainstream memes already in circulation. There will come a time when we must take him back. Whether on the honk or not, we must perpetuate this meme to show the world our ideas. It's obviously a shit posting operation. Come on,
dude. I cannot believe these people take this seriously.
And okay, this is
believe it.
The fuck it even is. Oh, so some blue check mark. Why? Why is this blue check mark here? Oh, because
what is the random Japanese account? Is that even one of the clown accounts, or is it just somebody who has the emoji in their username?
Yeah, emoji in the username or in the bio. So there's some Black Hortler, whoever that is. So just for the Patri honk honk.
Black
Clown
Hortler, you
simulator.
mean Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Oof.
This clown simulator might not even be related to this. It's like someone posted,
Yeah, we need a weeb. We need a weeb to email us and let us know what that Japanese shit says, because it probably just says, "I really love fucking some
Probably
random
white people LARPing as Japanese. That's very common on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like Mombot. Fucking.
So this is
I can't believe I used to follow that asshole.
Oh, wait. You know, see this is Sekai no Owari. Let me show something. That's why the clown is there.
Yeah, it's not even a related account. Oh my god, Jared Holt, kill yourself.
The Japanese pop band originating from Tokyo. So it's one of the band members has this clown persona or something, right?
Be sure to draw the razor vertically, not horizontally. You know, do it for real.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten to the point where I don't even try to think of ways to fuck with the lefties and anymore, because I mean, all you have to do is like what this guy did. Just, hey, let's put a clown wig and nose on Pepe and watch the lefties go fucking nuts.
Hey, let's all drink milk on camera and pretend like it's a real thing. Hey, let's do the AOK symbol. Is it like a real thing? And they just bite every time, and they don't learn. They're fucking retarded. Oh, now it's Nick Fuentes talking about Yang Gang. Oh my god. Are you serious?
This mentality is often referred to as black pilling. It's not even black pilling per se. It's just saying Yang Gang is retarded.
That's the whole joke. Fuck it, we're black pilled. Give me my free money. I don't care anymore. That's the entire joke. Nobody gets it. Oh, of course. They mentioned this mentality is often referred to as black pilling. Yes, that means you guys are so fucking disastrous that we don't think we can do anything about you, that we're stuck with your bullshit and you're going to ruin society.
Honk, honk.
Yeah, Honkler and Clown World memes were incorporated into Goy Talk, a new but growing web-based white nationalist podcast. So are you going to talk about every meme that was used on some white nationalist talking show?
Yes.
How much you would have bet Goy Talk's got like a regular viewership of maybe 500 to 1,000 people or something, and he's like, it's the greatest threat to society. Like, Jared Holt looks for anybody he can point the finger at.
I mean, it's pretty much self-evident that anytime the alt-right uses a meme, he's going to write up about it and say, this is their new meme.
Oh, look, that's another
Jared
thing
Holt
on
is
your
a
white...
symbol of the alt-right. He actually goes and hangs himself.
Yeah, for those of you playing alt-right bingo in the audience, somebody mentioned Siege. That's like B5 on the board. You know, Siege on your alt-right bingo card. Next is if they bring up Stormfront or fucking Andrew Anglin or something. You know, it's all on the bingo board. Because, like, what does Siege have to do with any of this? Nothing, of course.
So basically, this website, I took a look at this, and it's, well, kind of what you expect.
It's like a Murdoch fan site. Okay, yeah, who gives a shit with their ugly ass channel? Yeah. Wow, who cares?
Wow.
Apparently, we're still doing the aesthetic thing, like it's 2016.
I mean, yeah.
Wow, I'm so threatened by this corny ass site.
Yeah.
Like, let people have their fun. Who gives a shit?
Oh, like this Mark Zuckerberg couple admits the Holocaust never happened. What?
That's better than what we were talking about. Click on that.
The fuck? Well, it's clickbait, obviously. It's probably when he didn't want to ban, the local host denialist websites. I think.
Still, save that image. It's a good image thing.
Yeah. Zach Nazi. It's called fascist book. We can save this actually.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
To my fascist book collection. The fuck is this? Stoner Hitler.
At least some of their memes are good.
Look, he's high as fuck. Look.
And he looks vaguely like that shitty CalArt style that they use for Twitter avatars.
Oh god.
I was gonna guess the Jews, but then I got high. Oh.
I was gonna conquer the Lebensraum too, but then I got high. And now I shot myself in the head, and I know why. Hey, hey.
Hey. Oy vey. Oy vey. Oy vey.
Clown Jew!
Oh, that's awesome.
Luke as Niba Snookum's defender, rest and rip Goitok co-host.
All right, so they write corny articles and post hilarious memes. They're all right. They didn't do nothing. Hey, his doesn't go honk honk. When he squeezes his horn, the sound of coins jingling comes out. Ching 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 ching.
It's where it's his nasal wallet.
Nasal wallet. So Jared Holt, this is the worst thing going right now. This is what everybody needs to know.
Brace yourselves. Look out, kids.
The world must know.
The Honkler is the greatest threat to our society.
Nazi clowns are going to radicalize your young teens online.
Do we even have to read this? It's just going to be brain-meltingly stupid.
Speaking of clowns,
we should probably move on.
Show this again because it's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Battlefield V.
I'm glad you're not around to see this.
What the game turned out to be.
There's no mercy.
So enough about this. Let's actually talk about something more serious.
Break. That's lame.
Yeah, let's talk about this. What's her name? Menki something.
Yeah, the Pokemon bitch.
Yeah, that's.
Shares her name with a Pokemon. Like, how embarrassing! Unless she did that on purpose.
How embarrassing!
It's her real name, apparently.
Oh my god!
As in, her parents named her, and the Pokemon just happened to have the same name later, or did her parents name her after a fucking Pokemon?
I don't know. It's a terrible situation either way. I mean,
you guys just wait. We got about 5 more years, and then there's going to be an army of teenage thoughts named Bella walking around.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And then about 10 years after that, there's going to be a bunch of teenage thoughts named Ray running around. It's just...
So there's this... that's gonna...
Oh, Carol's going to be having a serious uptick pretty soon, too.
If there's one thing that makes me happy is we're seeing pretty often that companies that aren't in the middle of all this get woke shit, when they see one of their employees flip the fuck out at somebody just wearing a MAGA hat, they fire them. They're like, we can't have us thinking that we hire violent thugs. Like, fuck off. Like, there's some fucking justice in this world.
No, man, if you do that, I'm going to get violent at you. Yes, that's why we're firing you. Good day, sir.
So...
Wait a minute, is that the guy on the right? Who hired this fucking psycho?
Oh, there's apparently a woman. And,
that's a woman? I thought that was Sid Vicious come back from the dead.
Rebecca Menke. Yes, that's the real name. So,
I watched.
That's amazing.
It's not a man, baby.
Oh no,
it's a pig monkey Pokemon.
It's a pig,
in one of the articles, and they were like, "Well, when the news crew, when we went to the house, a woman talked to us through the window and said that she doesn't live there, but on the house number, there's like the family name and Mankey Parker."
Oh no!
All right, in my History of YouTube Saga show, in the intro, I show the Smosh bit where they have Pokemon, and it says Mankey, extremely quick to anger. How fitting for this fucking situation.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say the Pokédex entry for this Pokemon is that it's extreme. It like rages constantly, and it can get so mad that it falls over and dies. And it's a pig. It's a pig monkey. And you scroll up and look at her and just go like, yeah, it's the fucking most accurate thing ever. She's a primal pig monkey who rages until she fucking falls over dead.
She lives up to her fucking name. Oh, wonderful.
And that's an X-Sploud right there.
Yeah, let's take a look at this article. Rebecca Mankey was a California music store manager who was fired after she was seen confronting another man wearing MAGA hat at Palo Alto coffee shop. NBC Bay Area reports. Mankey, who posted about the incident herself on Facebook under the name Parker Mankey, said she was trying to shame the elderly man and vowed to reveal his personal information so users can harass him online. So Rishi Johnson
she actually said, "I'm going to do this for illegal purposes."
Arizona Bay can't come fast enough. Well, please, the San Andreas Fault, just sink California into the ocean and end this, please.
So is there like a her full post from Facebook was really telling. Let's see this tweet. So this is the guy. He was just minding his own business at was a Star.
Oh yeah, wait till you see the full story because it gets worse.
That guy just looks like some smarty pants philosopher guy who realized that populism and libertarianism is good for you. He looks like he's probably a guy who was a liberal most of his life and just went, you know what, I'm tired of this shit, MAGA. Like, look at him. He looks like a hippie.
Post. So this Parker Mankey. Anybody in Palo Alto know this freak? I suppose question mark was supposed to be here. Again, she's not a grammar Nazi.
You do not want to be the person who didn't speak up as we slipped into fascism. The Nazis are going to win because this guy sipped coffee in his red hat. Fucking psychopath.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. Anybody in Palo Alto know this freak? He was sitting in Starbucks. I think he lives in Palo Alto. He will never forget me and will think seriously about wearing that hat in my town ever again.
Is your town?
Yeah.
Stalin.
Please confront him. You do not want to be the person who didn't speak up as we slipped into fascism. I yelled at him, called the entire Starbucks to order, and yelled at him more about how it's not okay to hate brown people. I bet this bitch doesn't have any brown friends.
Brown people.
Yeah, no,
brown
I love how
people.
And I called the whole Starbucks to order as though, she had any effect because everybody there started mocking her.
I can just imagine her just screaming in like a German accent, like, "Why you wear that hat? What, do you not like the Untermensch?" Like fucking.
The funny thing is that this guy is Jewish.
It's not okay to hate the lower classes. It's not okay to hate the Untermensch. Fucking, he threatened to call the cops. Yeah, because he had a psycho in his face threatening to attack him.
Yeah, this was so.
All I want.
This was aggressive.
How bad do I just want to take a video of this chick screaming at that guy minding her own business and then cut back to like 1930s Alabama and a black guy accidentally walks into a whites-only cafe and the way the fucking, black people hate him fucking scream at him then? These people don't know that they literally are the fascist Nazis. Like, you know what Nazis do? They fucking scream at people and kick them out of shit and segregate people and attack people in the fucking streets. That's what Nazis do, you fucking retards.
I still remember.
You gotta remember, it's always right when it's left.
By the way, remember when Trump won and the next day Antifa went out and started smashing windows, and it was on the anniversary of Kristallnacht. Remember what happened?
I swear, this bitch is acting worse than that fucking asshole in the vape shot from a few months ago.
Let's read what else is there. When I walked back after picking up my lunch, he was still there. I went back and yelled that I changed my mind and wanted him to call the police because I wanted to know his name, where he lived, his wife's name, and where his kid went to school.
Where his kids went to school. Are you fucking kidding me?
You know, the funny thing is that you don't get the victim's information in a police when there's a criminal action filed.
Yeah,
There's no self-awareness though. This person isn't satisfied to try to fuck with this guy in an entirely abusive and psychopathic way. I want to know where your kids go to school. You don't even have any empathy for the kids
about it. Like that. See, that's the thing is the left. A lot of the people on the left are realizing that they've pretty much worn out, their ability to do shit. So they're just slinging shit at the wall to see what sticks. But then there's people like her that actually think that the Overton window has gone so far that they can pull this shit.
Yeah, I know that's right, but that's not what I'm talking about. It's like if these people were the good guys, you would have compassion for his kids. You'd assume he's indoctrinating his kids and you have to protect his kids from him. Instead, in order to hurt him, you want to attack his fucking children. This person is a subhuman degenerate monster and belongs in a fucking hole in the ground. Like, fuck off.
Yeah. And how old does this dumb bitch think his kids are? He's clearly 70s. He's clearly in his 70s. He's an old man. His kids are probably like grown up. They're probably older than I am.
I know that's the thing. She's assuming that he has like kids in grade school.
By the way, in California,
the absolute level of disconnect from reality.
No. Hold on, James. In California, it's entirely common for people to have kids in their mid-30s. Like, they don't fucking form nuclear families normally, like in their early 20s, like normal people.
Yeah, I know, but because she is from that mindset, she looks at a guy that's in his 70s and figures that, oh yeah, he probably has the same family type we do.
Yeah, I get what you're saying now.
Well, let's see. Like, the worst part is here at the bottom. Like, at one point, he tried to. Okay. The part that was really heartbreaking to me was in full Starbucks. I was the only person yelling at him. Yeah, very heartbreaking. There were other white people there who should have called him out. Call him out for what?
Yeah, see, that's the thing is, she goes in the first time, and everybody there actually starts mocking her. She goes back, thinking that the same people are going to now support her.
Listen to this. It is the duty of every white person in America to stand up to this every time they see it. You know the irony of this guy being Jewish, and every white person needs to harass this Jewish guy.
And how much you want to bet this is a busy Starbucks and everybody just looked at the floor and tried to ignore this going on?
Yeah.
Because there's no evidence that anybody at all got involved, that it was just this guy trying to mind his own business and this psychopath harassing him.
Yeah. But seriously, a white person calls every other white person to harass a Jew. Yeah,
Hey there.
There's a meme for that.
Yeah, and this poor guy there, he's the Nazi.
Well, are we talking about Jews?
So someone
you got to remember, to these people, friggin' Ben Shapiro's a Nazi and Milo is homophobic.
I mean, why not? Hey, but so someone commented, no one wants to find this guy. Find him for what exactly? Are we going to start going house to house? What the fuck? And this Menke responds, I am going to publicly shame him in town and try to get him fired and kicked out of every club he's in. I'm going to go to his house and march up and down carrying a sign that says he hates black people. I'm going to organize protests where he works to make him feel as unsafe as he made every one person he met today.
Who is he talking about?
This guy who, this Jewish guy who went to, this guy.
Starbucks and wore a MAGA hat.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, first of all, this guy looks like he's what is it in English?
He looks like a fucking gnome.
He looks like he's retired, so it's like, oh, go to his workplace. That guy looks like he's retired.
Yeah, he's told to work, I think. So I'm going to organize protest, and
so I will be contacting your husband work and showing them that all your posts harassing an innocent person online.
Yeah, the irony is lost on a and inside.
Yeah. I mean, this Parker Mankey person's basically guilty of criminal harassment at this point. They should be more than fired. They should be charged.
Well, if he was organizing with someone else to do it, it's also conspiracy to commit harassment. So that's another charge.
I love how we're right back to calling this bitch a he because that's a man, baby.
Yeah.
It's a man. It is man.
Oh, I forgot. I'm too old. Like, nobody gets Austin Power memes anymore. Yeah, that's a man.
Oh my god, yes. I've watched Austin Power, but just in French, so maybe I don't get the jokes. Also, it's been a while since I watched
baby.
It's le homme. I don't know. How do you say man again in French?
I'll readily admit I've seen Goldmember.
C'est le homme. Yeah.
C'est un homme.
Yeah, that's how you say it. It's been a long time since high school French class.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is, what the fuck is this degenerate freak? Just fuck off. Yeah, I would burst out laughing. If this person screamed at me, I don't even think I'd be intimidated or cringing. I'd just be like fucking chuckling the whole time. I'd just be like, okay, calm down. It's all going to be okay.
Okay, sweetie, dilate.
How about you sit down?
I would have sat there, like, most likely probably reading a book or whatever. I would have sit there and put the book down and be like, now, with who it is that you think that I am.
No, I'd just be like, calm down.
Really want to get me angry because the people that I probably know if I think I am.
No, this person's a meme. I just have them sit down and say, let me buy you a cup of soy milk. We'll talk this out like gentlemen. It's going to be okay. Oh, I misgendered you. I'm sorry, ma'am. Anyway, so
ma'am,
what the fuck is your problem?
Ma'am.
Yeah, but you hate black people. Who the fuck said I hate black people? Donald Trump hates black people. Donald Trump doesn't hate black people. He's gotten like NAACP awards. Like, black people liked him before you all started lying. Like, why are you lying? I'm not lying. He hates black people. Like, how does he hate them?
Why the fuck you lying?
Because he scammed some white middle class people at Trump University. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I just sit there and just shaking my head at them.
Just run badly and went into the ground.
Because with that bitch, what's the worst that's going to happen? She's going to scream at me for a while, and then somebody's going to fucking videotape with their iPhone her fucking throwing her soy milk in my face. Like, I just sit there laughing. I can't take a person like that seriously.
No,
like, maybe if it was a grown man in a fucking Sid Vicious outfit, I'd go like, oh, maybe the motherfucker's got a switchblade or something. I better keep at arm's length. But her, I just laugh at her.
Yeah.
Because the most frustrating thing is that these people are just trained monkeys. Because, like, I looked into it. Everyone's like, Donald Trump is a racist. I looked into it. And he hasn't said anything racist. He hasn't done anything racist.
It's been a while. It's been a while since
he's got a long track record of hanging out with Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. And I'm going like, what the fuck are you talking about? So there is a small segment of the society that does hate black people that likes Donald Trump, but that's just a fraction of his voter base. And that doesn't mean he's like that. That doesn't mean the rest of us are like that. Like,
yeah, it's like you
knows that she probably reads fucking Salon for her primary source for news.
I think Salon's a little too highbrow for this bitch. We're probably looking at Jezebel.com or Gawker.
The Mary Sue.
Oh yeah, good call. Maybe we hunted the elephants or we hunted the mammoth. What is it called?
Yeah,
that's Land of the Cave there.
It's not even active yet still because I haven't heard of it from like.
Yeah. By the way, the guy who made that website, David Futrell, for real, for like over a year when I was watching Bane 666's videos, when he talked about him, I heard every single time David Food Trail.
I haven't heard that guy's name in forever, man. That's old school shit. David
by the way, the Food Trail, this guy actually was caught being a sexual harasser, and he was fired from his job because, well, he's a male feminist. Of course, he's a degenerate.
I'm not surprised.
Hold on. Let me get a fork and remove just one power socket. I'll be able to feel the real shock.
Gleb, I gotta find you a new soundbite for the channel here. Just a second. Continue.
All right.
what I was trying to say. I think it was one of those. It's from a long list of anti-Gamergate quote-unquote journalists who got caught being degenerates.
Yeah, that's why I knew his name.
Degenerates. Is there one of them? Is there one of those hyper-known type of people that aren't in any kind sexual predators?
Apparently not.
I have a soundbite for that.
Deceit-ridden degenerates.
Yeah, degenerates is like, oh no, they can't just be a sexual Tyrannosaurus Rex. They need to be sexual degenerates.
Oh, by the way, the best part. So not only did she lose the job, but also was forced out of Democratic group after the incident.
Oh.
Wait, she got kicked out of her Democrat group too? So somebody does care about optics out there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, after Biden, yeah, optics have become a major concern.
What?
Yeah, I sent you a new voice clip to play on.
The Mercury News reported that Mankey was a member of the North Ventura Coordinated Area Plan Working Group. It's like Ventura. Nothing with that name can ever be taken seriously since the 90s.
Realistically, that group is, basically was just a politely named Antifa group.
Yeah, and I love how their acronym BPD, isn't that like a kind of emphysema-related bronchitis?
Yep.
No, borderline personality disorder.
It's a couple things.
That too, that's even better.
It's a bunch of things. It's great.
Yeah, you're thinking COPD, by the way.
Yo, you were correct. God, man, you got me. Hey, yeah, play that clip I sent you.
Oh. Clip by the limit.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
So that can go on the soundboard. Just I'm not surprised because imagine my shock is played out.
Visualize.
Yeah, nobody wants to look at Paul Joseph Watson too long. Come on.
Oh, by the way, in unrelated,
it's like a male thought. Jesus.
Yeah, he's basically well, not facial
fucking
features,
fish
but certainly
lips, badly permed hair. Like what the fuck, Paul?
Yeah, man, I got the pouty lips like Paul, and I fucking hate it.
You don't look like a cock-sucking faggot.
In the lips environment, Paul Joseph Watson is pretty much like Steve Shives.
You guys want to see Steve Shives?
And maybe to the same level of autism. I don't know.
Well, Steve Shives, he looks like his lips look like a puckered asshole,
and his head look like a parking lot.
You mean a parking garage because it's empty?
Also,
yeah, I don't like his style. The guy clearly wears a lot of makeup before he shows up on camera, and it really shows, and it's just kind of cringy.
Because weren't we discussing about a few weeks ago? He does that because he looks so sickly nowadays.
Steve or Paul
Steve.
Steve.
Oh yeah, he does.
I've looked at a couple of videos. I wondered if he's got late stage AIDS or cancer.
Yeah, and that's weird. Is right about the time he turned feminist is right about the time he started rapidly losing weight. Like he was a relatively.
Well, I think also his wife also make him eat lots and lots of soy.
He definitely he's definitely lost at least 40 pounds from when I was watching him in like 2012. Like he's really dead now.
Oh yeah, he did lose weight. Also, I need to watch the few pictures of the what was it, the thing, fuck's sake, the atheist thing or science.
I'm just gonna come right out and say it. Steve Shives looks a lot like somebody looks when they've been shooting heroin for a while. Just saying. Not kidding. That's what a heroin addict looks like.
Maybe.
Not coke, not meth, fucking heroin. Like a guy who goes like, I could go to the
heroin.
store or I could buy heroin. You know?
But it makes me feel like I'm a man when I put a spike into my vein, and I tell you things aren't quite the same. Mainline to my pain. Anyways, we have actually a different story, kind of, bit of a cringe. You know this band called the Green Gay? You know, American Idiots.
They've been in trouble because they want to help, but apparently they're not the right people.
I'm sick of the way they fucking dress, because you need to understand that Green Day has been around since like 1986. I bought my first Green Day record in 1993 when I was like 5 years old. I used to love this band because they used to be good. The problem is now they're in their fucking mid to late 50s trying to act like fucking they're My Chemical Romance over here. It's fucking driving me nuts. And their music sucks now. It's the most corporate, basic pop bullshit. I love how they're trying to act punk when Green Day sold out harder than any punk band in the history of all music has ever sold out. They are corporate bitch boy suckers of Satan's cock. Let me channel my Bill Hicks. They're fucking sucking the Satan dick. Just they're like fucking. They're that bad. Fuck these guys. Fuck these fucking guys. Fuck you, Green Day. Okay, rant over.
Let's take a look at the that was a mouthful. It's really interesting. Let's see. So, woke band Green Day is writing a handbook for feminists. Feminists are not having it because who else would write the best handbook for a feminist woman than guys in their late 40s or early 50s?
I want to be a feminist woman. Fucking die. Fucking die. Die.
It looks like you synced it with Trump there.
That's actually amazing.
Green Gay apparently still around and making music. I like how this starts. Apparently still around.
Oh my god, the fucking side swipe. It's beautiful.
Announced Wednesday that it's issuing its first graphic novel, a handbook for the modern American woman and every woman who refuses to capitulate, and feminists aren't amused.
Hey, weeb boys, are you excited for the new Green Day manga? Like, it's gonna be fucking amazing. They got a
is stoked. He thinks it's a different kind of manga, with tentacles and stuff.
Every woman who refuses to capitulate. I use words like capitulate because I'm smart.
Yeah.
What?
Wait. Speaking of using big words to sound smart.
Last of the American Girls. That is the most melodramatic bullshit I've ever heard.
Last of the American Girls. This sounds like there are none left. Like only one left. I'm sure there's more than one left, but whatever.
Yeah, it's come on. You're not the last Mohican or the last girl in America.
This is hysterical in like 3 or 4 different ways. It's hysterical as in the classical, like what they called women who were out of fucking control. This is hysterical as it's funny, and it's hysterical as it's exaggerating doom-saying bullshit. It's 3 kinds of hysterical.
Oh no, they will. I am 100%. They will, especially the SJWs. They will be on. We will see the shit hurricane when we will be able to clone humans. Because it's like, we're not gonna need women anymore.
I guess Billy Joe needs a hysterectomy because Trump hurt his ovaries. Like fucking.
He's 47 years old. February 17th, 1972.
He looks older than that. Jesus.
he does.
Even with the guy liner on. Jesus.
Yeah.
So let's see what else. The graphical novel titled "Last of American Girls" will hit store shelves in October and is billing itself as indispensable guide for women looking to maintain and cultivate that punk rock. Because nothing says punk quite like following a fucking manual.
Nothing says punk like a bottle of Metamucil on your nightstand.
Yeah, the only thing that a punk should read is the Anarchist Cookbook because, well, there are some instructions you can't just come up with. And even then.
But seriously, you know. Okay, it's a rallying cry for all rebel girls because just be a rebel, buy our book and follow the instructions. That's what rebels do.
That's how very rebel of them.
Yeah.
Maybe towards the end of the show, we should read that thing I linked in the freaking Discord general chat. My friend Dave, who thought about coming on the show and then bitched out at the last moment, he sent me that. It's pretty good, but it's off topic.
That wouldn't be new for here.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. It's just whenever Billy Joe starts talking, my ears shut off. That's my bad.
So the team behind the novel is, of course, entirely male. Yeah, who else write a...
This is a feminist calling him out. This is amazing.
Green Gay lead vocalist and guitarist is Billy Joe Armstrong. By the way, I remember a while back, he was going all woke and being retarded, defending BLM and stuff.
The saddest thing that you can tell is so corporate is Mike Dirnt used to be one of the best rock bassists of all time. He's like up there with like Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers. And like Dookie is one of the best fucking 90s album of all time. It's in the top 10 for fucking sure. But you listen to him play on their like recent albums and it's just like bong, bong, bong. It's like the most basic bitch pop bass ever. It's so sad. They're so fucking corporate. Oh, this just offends me.
Yeah, so it's not clear exactly what advice the book will give today's liberated woman, but Last of the American Girls is the title of the band's song, one of their most recent album, 21st Century Breakdown.
21st Century Breakdown is like 12 years old or 13 years old now.
Yeah, didn't that album come out in like 2009 or something?
Earlier than that, it came out in like 06.
Wow.
It's so old now.
I'll look this up.
It is actually very old.
It could be just the song with illustration. Feminism written by a team of men.
Yeah, illustrated, written, and produced by men, of course.
Feminists, of course, not typically wants to give the benefit of the doubt, immediately assumed Last of the American Girls will be the latter, and accordingly took to social media to voice their concern.
Oh my god.
What rebellious every woman among us has not longed for an inspiring handbook authored by and illustrated by 4 men and 0 women?
Yeah, according to Wikipedia, it came out in 2009, and then they released 3 albums in 2012, Uno, Dos, Tres, and then Revolution Radio in 2016.
And nobody cared. Like, American Idiot was huge, but nobody cared after that. I didn't even know they put out albums after that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they made any songs except for American Idiot.
Holy shit, look at that fucking image.
But I do have some justification. I am a music normie.
Is that the fucking cartoonist who did the artwork for Mad Magazine? It looks like the guy who did the ink work for Mad Magazine.
I wouldn't know.
What the fuck?
Maybe.
Maybe someone trying to rip him off.
Yeah, we gotta have a skirt and long curly blonde hair, but she's wearing Doc Marten boots because she's ready to go fucking goose step in the streets, baby.
No, I thought she was getting ready to curb stomp a black guy.
It's supposed to be like she's supposed to be wrapped in an American flag. At first, I thought it was like a wizard, cloak with stars and shit.
Faster!
It would be actually pretty funny if it was like wizard robe. And wizard's hat.
And don't these people know you have to have a light-skinned black woman with an afro as your girl picture? You can't have blonde white women anymore.
Yeah, no, of course.
If it's supposed to be like a wizard's garb, then maybe she's not just a wizard, but a grand wizard.
Who's screaming that?
You're a grand wizard.
Fortunately, he doesn't have a Korean girlfriend. Otherwise, he'd be able to have dinner right now. Hey, Jimbo!
Okay. Being on the wrong side of the woke is likely a new experience for Green Day, whether the criticism is warranted or not. Well, I mean, it's JWs. You sleep with dogs, you wake with fleas. That's how the saying goes. The band has hailed itself as something of a punk rock protest band in recent years. after banning the rock opera titled American Idiot as a way of fighting back against the Afghanistan and Iraq wars back during the George W. Bush years. And then the best part is coming up. The trio eventually turned American Idiot into a successful Broadway musical, and after staying largely silent during the Obama
Broadway musical.
Staying largely silent during the Obama administration. God, these people are just classic basic bitch leftists. Sad.
Like they were so against wars waged by Bush, but when Obama didn't stop those wars and waged new ones of his own, suddenly it's okay. You know, it's because
Obama vastly expanded the war on terror. Vastly.
Well, let me put this image again.
No, Darren. We made it more inclusive.
Everyone's like, why are we still in Afghanistan? Because of the poppy fields. Hello. I love how everyone
Yes,
says
we
war
can
for oil.
bomb those
Like,
little
no,
sand negroes.
that's the thing that drives me nuts. It's almost like controlled op. It's a war for oil.
It is a controlled op. What are you talking about?
It's a fucking war for opium, you fucking retards.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I can understand at least some parts of it where, because the opium poppies are needed for like morphine and other medications that are helpful, but realistically, yeah, it's about, we're somebody's paying somebody to protect the drug trade.
Yeah, because that's what a lot of soldiers are doing. They're just they are standing around oil fields, but a lot of them are staffed around the poppy fields. Yep. That's what we're out there for. We're out there for the lithium, the oil, but mostly for the fucking heroin. Yep. It's just CIA bullshit, the same old shit.
Oh, by the way, they should have written the song "Wake Me Up When Obama Ends."
Wake me up when progressivism ends.
Yes. So basically, yeah, they didn't talk shit about Obama when he was doing the same shit.
Also, the line "Wake me up when Obama ends." That, yeah, someone could say it's a dog whistle about Obama dying. Just saying.
And then the next
being
track
conspiratorial. You could interpret it that potentially.
The next track is Crab Rave.
Yeah, crab dance. Obama's gone. Do. Good time.
At one point, lead singer Armstrong even demanded that Trump supporters stop listening to Green Day's music. Well,
I have because you sold out and your music sucks.
I've never listened to you.
Well, dude,
I heard American Idiot on the radio. That was it.
It's not like I went out of my way,
Hey, when they put out Warning with the Brain Stew song, and then they got Dookie, the whole album's magic. I liked Green Day before they were cool. I had 1,039 smoothed out slappy hours. That album is fucking amazing. And then fucking American Idiot sounds nothing like it. It's fucking terrible. Like right around the time he wrote Hope You Have the Time of Your Life, it was just over. Like Green Day was over after that. And that was fucking like way back in the day.
Yeah, that was like 1997 on Nimrod.
Yeah, they were cool in the late 80s and early 90s. This is boomer fucking White Mountain Dew music, okay? It's long
dad rock, except your dad is a faggot.
Well, I still like
the
shit.
It all depends on who your dad is. I mean, because
I mean that album
is
cemented the fact that Green Day is like fag dad rock.
Oh well, yeah, American Idiot definitely, but Dookie's a good song. Dookie's a great album.
Like the '90s Green Day is fine. '90s Green Day is great.
Yeah, '80s Green Day is even better, dude. I
forgot they were in the '80s too. I need to listen.
Yeah,
to that.
Dude, they formed a band in like '86. They're so
really?
old.
They're only 2 years younger than Soundgarden. Then, damn.
Yeah, they're from back then.
Yeah.
Oh, look, in the chat, Flaw says, liberalism sawed itself in half over the last 2 decades, and it's mad that people consider progressivism and libertarianism separate entities. Well, to that, I want to say, to show the power of flex tape, I sawed liberalism in half. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, now with Biden and Cortez and many people on the left, that's a lot of damage control. Now that's a lot of damage control.
Yeah, actually, I could imagine if Biden actually had Cortez as his running mate, Okay, I mean,
you
like,
really see how much
Obama had Biden as vice president to ensure that nobody would try to kill him because nobody wanted Biden in office.
She's a fucking
That's why
death
Biden
eater.
actually got Nancy Abrams as a vice presidential pick. But if Biden actually had AOC as his vice presidential pick, they would, whoever the assassin would be shooting straight for Speaker of the House.
She's like the reverse of a fucking centaur. Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, I'd say maybe Biden just doesn't think she smells nice, so maybe that's why.
I'm sorry, honey. I don't date horses.
Eh.
What did you think I meant by reverse centaur?
Wait,
well, I'd say. Well, I don't know. Have we seen Sarah Jessica Parker with Joe Biden? If we have a picture of the Sarah Jessica Parker with Joe Biden, that would disprove your point quite a lot.
I did want to say right before we move to the next article, just to read the last line of that article because it was kind of hilarious. You read it in an ominous voice, but the wokest among us will not be the wokest for long.
That's menacing.
Can you believe a feminist wrote this? It's like so.
Oh, it's not the
feminist. Meta. This whole thing is meta. It's like a Daily Caller. Oh, it is Daily Wire. Of course it is.
Daily Wire.
Oh, never mind. I was about to say if a leftist wrote this, then it was very meta. But no, of course it's Daily Wire. They're on point.
It's pretty good actually.
It's all snarky. I like it.
By the way, what kind of stupid shit do we want to talk about? This stupid shit. What if toxic masculinity is a reason for climate change? Or I have another contestant. Then the professor says white people own time.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I saw that.
And the amount that I thought it was like a joke. It's like, and I saw the amount of articles that said the same thing. It's like, okay,
that's for real.
Look, if I own time, can I just wait? Can I just advance time until we have space travel so I can go to another planet?
By the way,
or just in a space colony, I'd be okay with that.
Check out, when I first opened this article, this was one of the ads shown to the right of the article. And I'm
okay.
not just...
Well, yeah. Well, first of all, you shouldn't eat that watermelon, period, because there's crack in it.
Okay, yeah.
Whoa.
What crack?
If you just look up
by our standards.
No, but those cracks in the watermelon, it's actually you could get really sick by eating it.
Hide the crack in the watermelon.
Yeah, apparently it's cider. It's a fertilizer that does that.
That's an improper use of a fucking watermelon. You're supposed to marinate those motherfuckers in Everclear and then eat them in slices.
Ooh, now that sounds interesting.
Yeah, you ever eaten a single watermelon slice and gotten drunk off your ass?
And find other articles about.
I don't like watermelon, so maybe it can make it tasty.
If time had a race, it would be white. Oh my god!
You know, it's pretty.
Thank you for the compliment.
Oh my god! There's more than one article.
It's like it's not a joke. Several outlets wrote about this.
Okay. Just go to the current year, 2019, on Wikipedia, and you'll see it's in various calendars. You have an Assyrian calendar, a Baha'i calendar, a Balinese calendar, whatever the fuck that is, Bengali, Berber, Buddhist, Burmese, Chinese, Coptic, Ethiopian, Hebrew. Majority of these are not white calendars. What the fuck is this dumb bitch talking about?
Well, let's check out. Let's start with this one. If time had a race, it would be who white. Gender studies professor. When it starts with gender studies professor, you can ignore everything else because it's going to be stupid.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be clowns going honk, 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 honk.
Discuss the racial implications of time during an NPR.
Clowns are white supremacists, remember.
That's another thing you need on the soundboard. You need you need Tuscan Raider noises for every time we see the shit. Just honk, 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 honk.
Oh my god, those honk honk. Oh my god.
Speaking to host Guy Raz for the TED Radio Hour episode Confronting Racism, TED Radio Hour episode. Oh, fuck.
Oh God, TED Talk.
Associated Professor of Women's and Gender Studies and Africana Studies. I don't have this clip in my soundboard. Remember when someone prank calls to Jesus Hotline when says, "Oh, I
He's a professor of niggerology."
Yeah.
Niggerology.
Yeah, the African American studies is like, niggerology, and then there's a laugh after. It's like, it's like,
you could play progressive blackout bingo. Forget like the 5 points on a line. You could black out an entire bingo sheet with this fucking shit. TED Talks, confronting racism, women's and gender studies, and African American studies. Some fucking regressive California university like Rutgers. Jesus Christ.
Her theory regarding the racial politics of time.
Christ alive.
Cooper's conversation with Rez was centered largely around the 2017 TED Talk. Well, this will show you that TED went to shit a long time ago. If they,
oh god, yeah,
TEDx, it's TED. TEDx was for lunatics, but now it's TED. Like the original one is infected. By the way, I saw like. Recently, there was like a video popped up in my recommended list, a TED Talk saying, "Well, is feminism undermining itself now? Like, is feminism starting to undermine itself? Like, bitch, where are you?
Yeah, where have you been?
It was always.
Where have you been?
It's always been self-contradictory nonsense. And whenever I've ever watched a TED Talk lately, just for fucking shits and giggles, I feel like Alex DeLarge in A Clockwork Orange, just fucking going, no more, as I watch it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'll be good, I swear, I'm cured.
What the fuck?
No.
Woman tens, so men, people. What the fuck? What the fuck? Watch. Woman tens, so men.
That's right. We're gods,
like,
ladies.
What the fuck?
We are your gods and your masters. We are not people.
Who is that? Who is that chick who was the fake black bitch from the NAACP again? I forgot her name.
Dolezal.
Dolezal. Is this another Dolezal?
Oh, okay. So it's supposed to be many people, I think. Not men people.
Oh boy.
Man people. Yeah, now I see what you're going. What the fuck about? God damn it. The copy editor, for fuck's sake.
It's pluralist.com. Never heard of them before. But anyways, during her TED Talk, Cooper said that white people own time, citing as evidence the black community's use of the phrase colored people time. Oh, real nigga hours. That's what she meant. So,
oh my God.
So white people own time. Sorry, I should look in my files. I don't think I have the property deed.
Perpetual
joke about black people's purported perpetual lateness. Fucking hell, I didn't say real nigga hours.
People's purported perpetual lateness because they're porch monkeys. PPP alliteration.
She even suggested that her own print charge for punctuality stemmed from her mother's reaction to racism. What the fuck?
If you type one more word that starts with the letter P, I'm gonna kill myself.
Oh yeah.
Personally, I'm a stickler for time. It's almost as if my mother, when I was growing up, said, "We will not be those black people."
Yes, how dare your mother try to teach you to be a...
We won't be those people that do this thing so that
how
way
dare
we
your mother try to give you life skills for success? Fuck her.
Stereotype.
I ain't raised
how dare
you
your
to
mother
be
try
no
to raise you
common
right?
nigger. Get your shit together, sister.
So it gets
yeah, literally.
Wait. So when I say time has a race, I'm saying that the way that we position ourselves in relationship to time comes out of histories of European and Western thought.
I mean, I don't necessarily disagree. Time is white, sure. Just about everything of value is white. Got him.
Shots fired.
Hashtag got him.
Oh,
your feelings change.
Hold on. So white is hold on. White people own time. Time is money. White people own money. Okay.
Well, it's not white people; it's fellow white people.
How do you do, fellow white people?
Yeah, I was about to say white people is our money. It's like, well, no,
Wait a minute.
it's black people who are money. It's like, just remember to the slave trade. It's like maybe they got something wrong.
And a lot of the way that we talk about time really finds its roots in the Industrial Revolution examples. So prior to that, we would talk about time as merely passing that. What? Right. So prior to that, we would talk about time as merely passing the time. Excuse me? Okay. After the Industrial Revolution, suddenly we begin to talk about time as spending time. Okay. It becomes something that is tethered to monetary value. I'm pretty sure that this is not. It didn't originate during the Industrial Revolution. It's probably earlier than that. Again, merchants. Happy merchants were a thing at all times. And yeah, well, even back in the day before Industrial Revolution, you could either spend time doing something useful and get monetary or otherwise compensated for it, or for your benefit, or you can waste time, and not being compensated for that.
I'm gonna have to issue a trigger warning to the audience before we read the next paragraph. You may want to get like a belt to bite on and sit on your hands because you might have a seizure because we're in for it.
It's too late. I'm already having it.
Okay, so when we think about hourly wage, we now talk about time in terms of wasting time or spending time.
Yes.
Well, maybe because
this is language. Yes, go on.
It's maybe it has to do with economic theories that were popular back at the time. Because back in the day,
Time is money. Yes.
How much you want to bet this bitch is written like a?
Are you saying all black people are poor, madam? That's a little racist.
It sounds like she wrote like a 15-page dissertation on time is money, just like on like one little saying, and she wrote like this long thing.
But all right, wrote up a 15-page summary.
Right.
And it's a really different understanding of time than like seasonal time or time that is sort of merely passing shaded. Yeah, it's called alternative. What's the term? Alternative value. You can. It's like if you have a very high-paying job, it might be cheaper for you to hire someone to do like chores for you, so you can spend this time earning. Well, you'll earn more money by working at this time than doing those chores yourselves.
God, this is dumb.
Yeah, and I gotta love whenever somebody's trying to sound smart. Like I'm an academic, like an academic, like a smart person, like
such as
academics,
Iraq.
Respond.
Like the Iraq and places such as?
Raz asked Cooper about her 2017 comments in which she said that although we treat time as though it's timeless, it's actually bound up with the plunder of indigenous.
Oh my fucking God!
People in
you ever notice that a lot of leftists, they sit there and say, and it unfairly impacts brown bodies, and it's like, look, why? They accuse us of dehumanizing POCs and all, but yet they talk about the effect the system has on brown and black bodies. Like, I'm sorry, are there minds?
I love when they talk about themselves as bodies. They dehumanize themselves. It's hilarious.
Yes,
Black
who's
Lord
the one
is like
using the colonizer terms here?
By the way, is it related to
the
plundering of the continent of Hawaii?
Noggins are jogging.
And I'm wondering if the Black Lord is all right, or if he's like foaming at the mouth over there. He's been quiet, having a seizure.
I don't know. Maybe he finally discharged one of those guns he plays with.
What? What does Lee Scott wearing men to office? What the fuck?
I thought that was fucking Russell Brand for a second.
Kind of looked.
I thought he looked like gay Jesus.
He doesn't look like he smells as much as Russell Brand.
Gay Jesus, Russell Brand, same difference.
When white male European philosophers first thought to conceptualize time and history, one famously declared Africa is no historical part of the world. Who won? Who won? Source, please. Won? Was it a famous philosopher? Was it just some random retard like her?
He's so famous, apparently he doesn't need to be named.
I'm
Or
cringing.
maybe
and
he shall not be.
First of all, it's blatantly false because like, Egypt is part of Africa and it's part of the historical part of the world. It was like one of the first
like Albania and Algeria have like done shit. That's stuff. Like all sorts of important things has happened in Northern Africa, at least.
He was essentially saying that
Ethiopia has a calendar
of history who had no impact on time on the march of progress. So, one dude said something, big fucking deal.
No, I'm sure all
One
sorts of
unnamed dude said.
No, okay, this bitch needs to realize something. It's not that nothing important ever happened in Africa, is that you freaking didn't have a written language, so nobody knows what the fuck you did.
Yeah,
like
except Egypt and like the.
Well, I mean, you got to remember, they had that interconnected marketplace that and seafaring, everything that the white man took. They didn't need a written language because they were so advanced.
And not everything the Hotep motherfuckers say is bullshit. Like, you can see it from the writings of the Egyptians who bothered to preserve their history. There was something called, like, the Kushite Empire that was doing important shit. You fucking Nubians were doing stuff. It's just nobody remembers. Like, it's not that you don't have history. Why are you saying your own fucking kind didn't have a history? You had a history. You just not fucking smart or disciplined enough to go find it out. You don't actually care. You're just a fat thought who's running around whining.
By the way, the Egypt stuff. Apparently, one of the oldest letters that we have found. It was basically a letter of complaint because apparently the copper the guy got was of low quality. So the oldest writing in history is a complaints letter.
That was from Sumeria, though. That was more like Iraq and Afghanistan area.
The Middle East.
Ethiopia has its own calendar. There's no way they just.
This is even worse.
They're white.
Wait. When a person, usually a white person, according to Cooper, accuses black people of being stuck in the past, they are evidencing the racial foundations of time.
Wow.
No, we're invalidating your stupid bullshit.
I'm just I might need a muscle relaxer because the amount of reaching she's doing here is throwing my back out.
Yeah.
Brittany Cooper, you fat, dumb bitch. You are stuck in the past. Your fucking point is irrelevant. Like, how long can you write a big, circuitous bunch of bullshit that just basically comes down to nuh-uh? Yeah, fuck off.
Hey.
Fuck off. Here, let me sing you a Green Day song. I'm taking pride in telling you to fuck off and die. Goodbye.
Okay, where's the what clip is that from? Where it's just like, where I forget exactly how it goes now. Where it's just like, what you just said was one of the stupidest things in the.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh yes.
Billy Madison or some shit.
Yeah.
I worked no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Yeah, that one was fucking amazing.
Everyone is now dumber for having heard it. Yeah.
At one point during the interview, Cooper mused that exposing these aberrations of time should allow us to think about it, that we don't all have to stay the same timescapes. Fuck.
Timescapes? What the fuck? That's some fucking Star Trek terminology she's using.
Postmodernism. It doesn't mean anything. She claimed that in contrast to blacks, who whites are taught that time is linear. Blacks are taught that time is like what?
It's like, so what? If time is not linear, what is it? Is it proportional? Reverse proportional? is it a sine wave? Is it a cosine wave? Is it a tangent? Tell me what model of line it is. I could put it on a graph.
Well, technically, time doesn't exist outside of space, so it's space-time, one and a whole, and relativity is really weird because if 2 points in space that if two events happen between those
everything is a continuum. Time is our perception of the distance between cause and effect.
Yeah, and the third-dimensional universe is an illusion. We know all this shit. The point is that the people like this try to sound scientific, and they try to appropriate scientific words when nothing they say even makes coherent, logical sense. It's not just that it's not math, it's not science. It doesn't make any fucking sense at all. What she's talking is what they call not even wrong. It's just meaningless bullshit that's not important or relevant.
Actually, have a picture of,
Basically, it makes Dunning-Kruger actually look legit.
Yeah, you guys know what the concept of not even wrong means. Physicists are a big fan of it. It means what you said is just such pointless, irrelevant bullshit that it's not even, you're not even wrong. You're completely off topic. You're off the fucking reservation. You're a fucking lunatic. Fuck off.
I would call it fractal wrongness. Not only is it wrong, but it's wrong on every level. No matter which part of it you put under the microscope, it's still wrong. I was like, but if you're African American in this country, time doesn't exactly work that way. You are, living often with a residue of past historical trauma.
Yeah,
very scientific. You are living in a present-day system that is filled with racial animus, which often is overlooked by many white Americans. How is this related to time? Like, the fuck is this?
This chick needs a racial enema.
So apparently, if racism makes your time not linear,
I don't know. How can time not be linear for some people? But
I was about to say,
what model
the
is it?
rules of our universe state that our universe has 3 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time.
Yeah.
So there's actually a lot of dimensions in the quantum scape. But anyway, my friend who's watching the show sent me says Confucius say man who make mistake in elevator is wrong on many levels. Or a man who smoke pot on toilet is high on, or a man who smoke weed on toilet is high on pot. Or wait, no, it was man who stand on toilet is high on pot. Confucius proverbs are dumb.
My brain hurts now because of this stupid shit.
I don't know how much longer I can do this. And now we're going to the Dakota pipeline because black people time has to do with the Dakota pipeline.
Yeah.
Does she think Ocasio was black? She does kind of look like a light-skinned...
It's like an unrelated story.
Well, as Apex here in the comics would tell you, most Puerto Ricans, which is what AOC is, have some African DNA in them. So
yeah, just like Dominican too. Yeah,
AOC definitely has a black ancestor somewhere.
I'm just gonna say that I want them to make a movie about AOC and have Halle Berry play her. And just put little prosthetics that keep her eyes really wide open all the time.
Oh no, all they have to use the animators from Alita.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That works.
No, this actually makes perfect sense if you get into this prepared, and by prepared I mean, of course,
smoke crack.
Oh,
also.
Yeah, I have two pictures in my Facebook reactions.
What the fuck is dope
perfect for this? It's like the first, like they're both somebody holding a meth pipe. One is I think you dropped this, and the other one is moments before this post was made.
Oh yeah. Oh hello there, Striker.
Speak of the fucking devil.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Yeah, there's the Puerto Rican himself.
Gleb, go back to the drug picture. I want to ask. What in the middle, the big bag? What is docaine?
Well, let me Google it for you.
It's like DMT. It's like
Calea. God damn. DXM.
It's
Pyracetam. Okay, that sounds like a medication.
In many countries it's sold over the counter, and it's not even a drug. It's
just that the docaine just sounds like it's a dyslexic man was trying to write codeine.
No. Docaine is actually it's a name for lidocaine. It's an aesthetic. It's nothing interesting. Unless you pains, and then it's interesting. Also,
dude, the thing is that regarding AOC's black voice, that's how New Yorkers talk, dude. They basically are niggers. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, anyways, let's finish this fucking article before my brain just shuts down. Cooper said that white Americans see themselves as people who work really hard, but are indoctrinated into a myth of meritocracy that does not reflect societal reality.
It's like, wait, they think of themselves as people?
If meritocracy is real, then how am I going to get away with being a lazy nigger who isn't on time and doesn't work in a timely manner and isn't responsible? How am I going to get away with being a lazy, unlikable piece of shit if meritocracy is the method in which we build our society? This is fucking just her saying, well, let me be a lazy cunt. No, fuck you. God damn it. You know.
Apparently, being punctual is racist now. What the fuck is wrong with these people?
That's literally why this timeliness is a white social construct thing keeps coming up, is because these people want excuses to be a lazy piece of shit. A lazy, greedy, selfish piece of fucking shit. No, you're a degenerate. Literally. Literally, you are a fucking degenerate. Society would be better off without you. So either get with the program or get the fuck out.
I mean, these people totally forget. I remember watching Tim Pool's video about this subject where he was talking about to some, I think it's some indigenous dude at the Dakota Pipeline. They were just like, oh, time is a thing for the colonizers. It's like, did these people forget, like, 7 fucking years ago, people were, okay, maybe not everyone, but, the doomsday theory about the Mayan calendar.
I was gonna say yeah. And who invented sundials?
Maybe Arabian people. I don't know, the Persians. I'd have no idea who invented sundials. Might have been the Greeks.
If you look up 2019 on Wikipedia, you'll see most of the calendars in existence are non-white calendars.
I mean, like some non-white people gave us some shit. Like the alphabet there's a reason why they call it the Arabic alphabet, and same thing with I think didn't they come up with the number 0 first, or was that the Greek? I forget who got 0 first. Yeah. See, so I mean, like fucking. But the thing is, just about everything black people try to take credit for is stuff that was done by Coptic peoples who were sort of a little bit black, but mostly Arabic, like not Arabic, Persian or whatever you call it. Like fucking Ethiopians and Egyptians, Coptic peoples, although Ethiopians more black now. But back then, when they had their shit together and had an empire,
This was way before Islam at that.
Yeah, when they had Catholicism running shit, yeah. When it was all nice and orderly.
Oh, did you hear fucking Destiny bitch at Nick Fuentes? Fuentes tried to get him on the fucking pedophilia shit, and Destiny was like, well, you're Catholic, so your opinion doesn't count because your priests rape little boys. It's like, yeah, he's not a priest, Lord. Destiny.
Oh my god. And see, the sad thing is, I think Nick Fuentes is pretty cringy. I think he's a corny, he's basically the Catholic Ben Shapiro.
But
I don't like
Destiny,
him.
He looks like a fucking galaxy
Genius.
brain.
Yeah, he looks like a galaxy brain of the proper variety against the galaxy brain of the fucking empty-headed fucking drone variety over in Destiny.
Destiny's just mad that he didn't meet one of those priests.
I love whenever you see a Destiny fanboy who's just like, Destiny won that argument. It's like, all you need to do to make anybody completely change their opinion about Destiny, if they're capable of being intelligent and rational about things, is teach them what gish galloping is. That is literally all Destiny can do.
What the fuck is that?
What gish galloping is he tries to rush out as many fucking subjects as possible. He just randomly states things without citing it or having any evidence of what he's saying, and he just
you can't respond to anything.
So every time you try to respond to one of the subjects he's brought up, he's already gish galloped through another dozen subjects.
He's just glad that none of the people he's talked to are autistic, because they will not fucking budge until you correct something.
Yeah, so every time he tries to gotcha, all he does is say, if you fucking correctly address one of his points, he goes, whatever, shakes his head and moves on to the next dozen things.
I won. Yeah. You midget.
So, but the thing is, if you ever see him argue with anybody smart, you can count at least about 10 times where they say, no, you're wrong, and here's proof you're wrong, and he goes, whatever, and then just keeps gish galloping. That's all he can do. He's a fucking retard.
Like literally every time he calls his mom, that happens.
Yeah, like every time he's talked to somebody smart, like
like his
Medicare
mother
or Naked Ape.
His mother destroys him. It's amazing.
I haven't seen Destiny talk to his mom, but
oh my god, you need to. It's hysterical.
So his mom's is like Sherrod's mom, just like Newton.
Yes, basically.
Oh,
you haven't seen that? Oh my god, you should. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Dolly
I haven't
actually
either.
has a video where he plays a lot of it.
You know, I always
dear
thought
Lord.
Destiny was a retard, but my lord, when he said that thing to Nick, that pretty much amplified it.
Well, you're Catholic, so do you accept your
I mean,
priests
that would
raping
probably-
little boys? It's like that doesn't have anything to do with it.
That is
The
probably
problem
the
with-
shittiest. That is probably the shittiest incarnation of what a battery I have ever seen. I've ever.
What about
the question was, what is his basis? Like, why does he not want to give a yes or no answer? Is pedophilia
Well,
good? And that's Destiny's response to that question.
With Destiny,
Yeah.
with normal
Well,
people, they would call it.
whataboutism is
They would call it
whataboutism is a secondary
whataboutism.
tactic.
Yeah, they would call it
still
whataboutism.
didn't answer the
And with Destiny, it's whataboutism.
What
Yeah,
about
he has 3 primary tactics. Number 1 chiefly is gish galloping. Number 2 is whataboutism, and number 3 is shifting the goalposts. And that's all he does. It's the most basic bitch, cowardly, fallacious garbage. Destiny is a retard, and he doesn't know. And you know the reason why he doesn't know, no matter how many times people tell him he's being a retard? He's a sociopath. He has no conception of the way people look at it.
It's tiny, no!
Yeah, he's a fucking sociopath. You can tell by the way he talks, the way he looks, the fucking emptiness in his fucking eyes. And that's why he doesn't get that what he's doing is retarded and why people don't like him. He's a fucking sociopath. He has no conception of the other people's frame of mind.
Well, it's official. I'm a pedophile association thanks to Destiny. Holy fucking shit.
And if he's not a sociopath, he's at least a narcissist. We need to get Gleb back because I wanted him to click on that this Jordan B. Peterson rally is scary. I want to know what in that white bread, upper class, snooty, aristocratic, intellectual wannabe crowd that Jordan Peterson does is scary. Everybody talks about this guy like he's Goebbels, and he's the most tame white picket fence, white bread guy. Just wants us to have Leave It to Beaver society back. He's an order and justice type dude. So basic, so inoffensive, so tame.
This article.
Yeah, like the video slightly above it says like scroll up slightly. It says like this event at Jordan Peterson event is scary. What could possibly be scary at that event? Like nothing happens there.
Wash your ass, bucko.
The truth is always scary.
David, say a prayer for him. Father, we thank you for David. Stop fooling him. Father, we thank you for David. We thank you that he's the treasure.
What the hell?
Healing for him.
Keep your hate speech off this campus.
Inspiration for him.
I think somebody's having a panic attack on stage.
You know, at first it looked like one of those evangelical revivals.
That you would just begin.
That's not scary. That's almost kind of touching. So some like broken individual who clearly has a lot of problems probably ran up on stage and they were worried like he might attack Jordan Peterson, but he just fell on it at his feet and started crying. There's some people who are like so lost and unloved that they look at this guy as a role model and like evidence that they can get their life back together. It makes people cry. It's very simple, and people who do have their shit
happens all the time at like fucking mega churches and regular churches, and that's okay.
Exactly.
But fucking Kermit can't. No, that's we can't have that.
The thing that's nice about Kermit here is who he's speaking to is people who really don't have their shit together. People who are probably almost suicidal.
They literally cannot clean their room.
Well, yeah, so people who do have their shit together look down on him and think of him as simplistic, but he is kind of a messiah to some people who do need to get their shit together. I think he's a positive force for good. And if you don't like his shit or his shtick and his religious nonsense, I completely understand. But I kind of like Jordan Peterson. I think he's teaching people shit that everybody forgot because we all turned into hedonistic, selfish pricks. You know, like without the order and dignity that he preaches, we got people like that black bitch talking about time is white fucking nationalism and shit. Like, there's a reason why we kind of need that shit back. There's a reason why the alt-right and the right-wing and conservatives are trying to get us back to a value-based society, because it is true in a postmodernist, valueless society, you have people fucking falling down crying like babies. Like, people can't handle this shit. We turn into the Eldar in 40K and birth Slanesh. It's a problem.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
I mean, it's fucking sad and cringy, but it's true. I mean, that's what you're looking at.
Oh, I think it's
actually
that's
the
pretty much
40K
what
group that I'm in has gotten cringy.
It's horrible, but it's
Bro.
true. It's like politics nowadays.
And we're proof that a bunch of autists can be much more personable and better and can deal with people with some fucking dignity, because all it takes is some dignity. You could be a Rick and Morty tard, but if you develop some fucking dignity, then you're not so bad. You could be a leftist piece of shit, but if you develop some dignity and don't hit people with fucking baseball bats, they're not so fucking bad. Because everybody's out here with no fucking dignity. That's why I kind of like him, because he's trying to teach people to have some goddamn motherfucking self-respect. It's that sad. We're at this point. This is why everybody's black-pilled.
Yep.
So, shall we take a look at this last item on today's list? Because it's
sure.
You want to talk about an undignified article? Here we go.
All right, let's get this shit over with.
Well, and again, I already have several problems with this, and
you already have several problems.
Oh, so let's see the.
Oh my god!
When a person walks out of the grocery store holding an eco-friendly canvas bag instead of a plastic bag, what gender do you think they are? Well, especially when they bring this canvas bag into like an SUV, or eco-friendly SUV, or minivan or whatever. Most likely,
hybrid.
They are female. This is the type of answers Dr. Aaron Burr of Utah State University get to the bottom of through his research. Well, let me guess, it's sociological research, because it's so cute when sociologists try to pretend that they are real science. Yeah. No, you are not. Just go to the back class where creationists sit.
Oh yeah, I also linked the Destiny getting BTFO'd by his mom in our stream chat. So
we need
Lucas is amazing. He says bruh.
Or even King of the Hill, bruh.
Whoa. Authored a paper with professors from 4 other universities to understand how gender norms affect sustainable decision making.
What the fuck is sustainable decision making?
That included over 2,000 participants from US and China. What they found was
and China, you don't say.
China.
The biggest problem here. Okay, let me say it right there. Just using a plastic bag or a canvas bag doesn't affect the environment nearly as much as driving a car or other stuff. Trust me, there's plastic bags that deteriorate quickly anyways, and there's so much.
The other thing is, I'm actually surprised that these people haven't cracked down on cows, because cows actually release more methane than a human being in average per day.
Yeah, and methane is actually a really, really serious greenhouse gas, like much more so than CO2.
Well, that was the whole point of the farting cows bit in the Green New Deal.
Yeah, and if anybody thinks that America is bad about pollution and shit, just take a quick look at the fucking the East Coast of China. It's holy shit. It looks like a dystopia from Captain Planet if all the villains won. You know what I mean? Yeah, 90s reference. You know how Captain Planet, all the pollution-based villains? That's China.
Bring pollution down to zero.
Yeah, Beijing, Shanghai, all these places. All this.
He's the hero. Now you got that stuck in my head, Gleb, you fuck.
I'm still thinking of the fucking robot chicken sketch with Ted Turner.
Dude, that one's good. Dude, what I'm saying is, there are layers of smog in Beijing. It's so bad that even breathing that shit hurts them. They actually feel pain while breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's that bad.
Yeah, like don't fucking shit. Look at this shit. Look at this.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, Beijing it's pretty horrendous.
Yeah, China is basically IRL silent kill.
They managed to ban cars for like I think a few days, and they were
Yeah,
able
because
to
like it was the Olympics, there was something going on that they wanted everything.
Yeah, it was
to
for
look
the
right
Olympics.
for.
For the Olympics, yeah, they wanted the tourists to know that, oh yeah, we're capable of having a blue sky. And when the Olympics were done, boom, it went right back to this level of smoke, of smog.
It must suck in their climate because their smog doesn't even like rise. It's just sitting there like fog on the ground. That sucks.
Darren, why do I feel like China is IRL Silent Hill? Look at that.
Yeah, it looks kind of like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Imagine driving when you can't see shit. Look at this. How do you see anything here?
Well, they're living the Bird Box challenge.
Well, it's always worse on camera than it is in real life. So
bad. Like, come on, it's fucking terrible. You know.
We need to be better than America.
We read Bird Box challenge every day.
Like, look at this. Imagine, wearing a breathing mask like on the street. Fucking hell.
Oh, glory to Mao. The reason why we have so much smoke is because we smoke weed every day. We are more progressive than you Americans.
Anyways,
oh yeah, they sure are. They sure are.
Wait, let's see what's next in the article because it's gonna be stupid. Trust me.
Not even LA was this bad back in the 70s. Jesus.
They found that both men and women associated doing something good for the environment with being more feminine. Well, first of all, they don't think the study here in the article.
My God! See, this is the shit I can't stand. Remember, fucking when it comes to like social fucking psychological feminism, every good positive behavior in mankind is female, and every bad behavior is male. War, violence, anger, aggression, greed, whatever the fuck, that's all masculine. Loving, caring, compassion, brotherhood, ironically, fucking all that shit is female to these people. So toxic masculinity has nothing to do with men and everything to do with blaming all negative behavior on men. Like the Gillette ad, what was it about? Bullying, aggression, touching people who don't want to be touched. Women do this shit all the fucking time. All the time. Sometimes more than men. Especially bullying. Women are fucking sadistic bitches to each other. But you'll never hear any of these fuckers admit it.
Sugar, spice, everything nice. Snips and snails and puppy dog tails.
Because you want to know what's a feminist's least favorite person in the whole world is a woman who's not a feminist. That's who they're the most vicious to. Beyond everything they do to men. You take a woman who says feminism is bullshit, they fucking go frothing at the mouth insane.
Well, again, the methodology of this study really is questionable. Just let me read some of this. So apparently, people view everything that is has to do with being green as more feminine, and I'm really questioning the methodology of this because this kind of study is ripe for making it skewed by design or accidentally because. Yeah, let me just read some of the examples. Like in one of Burr's and team experiments, both men and women were asked to recall a time when they did something good or bad for the environment. Those who recalled having done something good for the environment, such as
had a cookie.
And examples
like such as
environment. And again, either this
I'm gonna have to get out.
I need to get my hands on this text of the study because I suspect there are some interesting, some strange methods. Look again, it's probably they don't list which is. It's probably sociology or something. And sociology is like 90% pseudoscience. And I'm sorry, but There was like a meta study when
90.
Peer reviewed.
God, it's like you're being generous.
To replicate them, and the replication, only like 30% of the studies could be replicated, and it's actually no 30 was for psychology. For sociology, it was even lower. So it's.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get going. I have work to do.
Thanks for staying and enduring this.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Hey, Nick.
We'll miss you, Nick.
Yep, I'll talk to y'all later. I may hop back in, but I gotta do some work first.
He's got to go watch Super Sentai.
Nah, I actually have to work on a commission. See ya.
Those who recalled having done something good for the environment rated themselves as more feminine than those who recalled having doing something bad for the environment. Again, how do you define feminine, masculine? I need to read this study because something here is really doesn't seem right. Okay, one might expect this type of gender stereotyping around green behavior to happen only when someone is concerned about how they appear to others, but even upon self-evaluation, judge themselves feminine when acting responsibly towards the environment.
Let me guess, they're not linking this quote-unquote study, which is actually a survey where they used weird buzzwords and it says, even upon self-evaluation, judge themselves feminine. You mean they probably judge themselves as a good person, and you consider all good qualities to be feminism. This is a self-justifying bullshit concept. It's bullshit.
I want to take a look at the text of this, what the study was, because this
as if it ever could, as if there was a possibility it wasn't bullshit.
First of all, this article doesn't explain much at all. They really vague and don't explain the experiment, how it was. First of all, they don't even state how large how big the experimental group was. How big.
Yeah. Forget the sample size. I guarantee you that the methodology is just batshit insane. I bet you I got it right on the money when they said they quote unquote judge themselves feminine because they judge themselves as good as having good qualities, which you pre-established are feminine qualities by your definition, because you're fucking. I forget what it's called. It's a sophistry. It's basically defining yourself into being correct by changing the definition of all the terms in the argument. It's just stacking the deck. It's bullshit.
Okay, this is even again. Let me just read it. Another experiment took the idea further and applied the concept of the green feminine stereotype to product and brand selection. Male participants were exposed to one of two Walmart gift cards. One used more comically feminine design elements like pink and floral, selected to threaten masculine stereotypes. Is anyone actually threatened? If you feel threatened by having like a pink gift card with floral patterns, well, how old are you? 12?
Maybe. What if she is?
Selected the threatened masculine. Another gift card that was designed to not threaten masculinity. Well, if your masculinity can be threatened by a gift card, then maybe your masculinity isn't all that great to begin with. Just a thought. Just get rid of all soy-based products from your diet. If gift cards are a danger to your masculinity, just saying. The men there were then asked to make a series of choices between green and non-green products. What the fuck is green and non-green products?
It's probably ecological and not less ecological.
Which ones are certified, which ones aren't, or some shit.
Usually, when they call a product green, that means it's made out of recyclable materials, or is it self-recyclable, something like that.
Something that's more
criteria and how they judge this, and because sometimes they just a lot of times this it's eco-friendly. It's just a marketing blurb and it doesn't mean much. It's just way too
actually eco-friendly
to stupid consumers who think that by buying one of those, something that is packaged in recycled cardboard, they are helping the environment. Just this is like a piss in a bucket, or what's the saying? Oh, drop in a bucket. Well, I'll say piece in a bucket because it's funnier. Yeah, again, the biggest threat, for example, people who watched Captain Planet often don't realize that the biggest threat to rainforest is not for like building cities and parking lots. It's actually farmlands, because you need
clear cutting to raise cattle. That's what it is.
No, not just cattle. By the way, speaking of green products, do you know that those palm extract oils that are used in soap, well, they have to cut out a lot of acres of rainforest to plant those palm trees to harvest oil from.
Yeah,
to make
that's what some of the more legitimate environmentalists are saying, is that you really want to reduce your palm oil usage because that shit is
palm oil.
bad.
That's bad for your health too.
Yeah.
And by the way,
so a lot of, by the way, palm oil is mostly in feminine products. By the way, feminine beauty products. Huh?
Yeah, that's a good point. Like
just saying, just saying.
All that lotion you like to rub on your ashy elbows, honey. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, like Palmolive, like this, they really, threaten the environment just for growing those palm trees. And by the way, soap can be made from any lipid, like any oil would do for a soap, like
animal fat. Basically, you could.
They even did.
Also, by the way, even though everybody hates it because it kind of leaves a film on your skin, but you're much more eco-friendly if you use glycerin-based soap. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, you can.
Hey, well, any fat-based one. Well, just look at fucking what was it? Fight Club. They did it with
Fight Club, where they made it out of people, which is a bit fucked up. But yeah.
The soap is people.
Well, in the past they used to make soap from animal fat, but now they. Well, sometimes
they also made candles out of it too.
Well, the funny thing is that the soap that's made from animal fats, well, they still do in some countries, but it's like the cheapest, nastiest soap that is for not to wash your hands, but for almost not industrial use, but for for washing floors and washing clothing, and not to wash your hands. It's really nasty. It's I don't know what's the English word for that, but it's anyway. Moving on. Let's finish this article. Green and non-green, blah, blah, blah. Men who were shown the gender threat gift card chose more non-green products. Again, what's the criteria for non-green products? That means that men felt emasculated, they asserted their masculinity, safeguarded their gender by making choices that ultimately harm the environment. Well, then what are their criteria? I don't think that there are any products in Walmart that says, "Oh, we harm the environment. We'll fuck the."
No, what it is that when people are given a gift card, they are more likely to get things that they want rather than what they need.
No, but they were given two gift cards. One.
What? People getting what they want?
Oh wait, no, you misunderstand the premise. Some men were given a gift card that was pink and full of flowers, and others were given a gift card that was like neutral. And those who were given this pink, girly gift card, they were more likely to buy so-called green products, whatever their criteria is. The problem is they don't specify in this article what the criteria was, so I don't know
also,
how it is.
Different gift card, different colors of gift card. What kind of fucking store did they bought those gift cards?
Walmart. Oh, Walmart, you can get all sorts of different designs and everything. Just check the friggin' rack.
Yeah, but the idea is that I need to get my grubby hands on this study itself, because I'm also harm the environment. I mean, how big difference does it make if you buy a green or non-green product? The difference is, first of all, if you want to save the environment, buy local. Because if you buy something that is not local to your area, it had to be shipped to you somehow, and it didn't work. It's on its own. The soap doesn't have legs to walk your store.
Wait a minute. Not only was part of the methodology to get them.
Oh shit! I should
got the
have
men
those
to.
things checked.
So men bought more masculine products when they were given a gift card that didn't have pink girly flowers on it, like.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, even if they accurately showed that men are a bit, they don't like feminine shit and feel challenged when they're told they're feminine, even in a subconscious sense, even if all of this was true, that guys don't like feminine things and don't like having their masculinity challenged, I'll give you, all of this is true, that all of this happened. Why is this a problem?
Well, who
fucking cares?
Wait, the idea is that if their masculinity is challenged, they are supposedly choosing less green products, however those are defined. But the next one is actually worse. The next one is the next one is really dubious. I'll explain why. But first, let me read it. And it's really, I don't like the methodology here at all. But take this. The group worked with BMW in China to test two print ads of the same car. The only difference between the ads was that the word eco-friendly was replaced in one ad with a more masculine Chinese word for protection. And here's the problem.
A feminist study working with a German company in China. Could you get any more fucking dystopian fucking globalist leftism? Holy shit.
Wait, it gets worse. Like, listen to this. This is just part.
But wait, there's more.
Well, Aaron, shut up. Let me just read this. And what they found was that men evaluated the protection option more positively than the eco-friendly option, even though it was the same car. Well, no shit. If you sell the same car but using different slogans, they won't be equal. Because some slogans sound better. First of all, given that none of us speak Mandarin, we don't know how those, maybe some of those words have negative connotations in culture, or maybe this one slogan just sounded better. Maybe if you read it aloud, one of them sounds stupid, other one not stupid.
Oh, well, it's even just in the first thing they said, the protection option. One of the most attractive things when you're selling a car is the safety rating of it. Does it got the side airbags? Does it got the steel frame in the door so that if you get fucking T-boned, you're not going to die instantly and be crushed? Everybody loves to hear that about the car. People kind of like it uses less gas mileage or has less emissions or whatever. That's great. But what's far fucking more important, probably for women too, especially ones with kids buying cars, is how fucking much is it going to protect me if I get in a fucking wreck? No fucking duh, you stupid cunt. Well, God damn it.
First of all, BMW cars are not exactly what you go for when you want something eco-friendly. That's
reliable.
But hey, at least they said one positive thing is masculine. Yeah, the protective ability of the car to save your life in a wreck is masculine. Hey, great, I'll fucking take it. God damn it.
This part is really one of the weakest parts of this quote-unquote study, and I don't even want to call it a study because it's this one thing is there's so many variables that are not accounted for, and again, this would depend on like local culture, local linguistics. Maybe before that they had some really bad products advertised as eco-friendly, and those products were shit. So they don't like anything that panders to eco-friendly crowd because they have bad associations with that. How about this? They don't say that they accounted for this because they probably didn't. And also, why only China? Why is this like really specific market? Maybe again in the West. First of all, in China, it's a piss in a bucket. If you buy a car that is eco-friendly, what difference does it make? You saw how their air looks, what their air looks like. You can actually see the air, but you can't see much more outside of that. So again, in China,
plus also in China, they're also going to go with things that are more socially acceptable because if you support Trump, you might not be able to friggin' go anywhere because you can't travel because your social credit rating is low.
Just in different cultures, the importance of this eco-friendliness differs greatly. Like in the West, eco-friendliness is much more valued than I bet in China because look at their air. Do they care about those eco-friendly cars? Do those eco-friendly cars make a difference in China if their industrial zone just makes the air impossible to breathe without a breathing apparatus? Again, this is not a scientific study. It's just feminist wankery. And man's affiliation with positive environmental steps as a human affirming truth that shifts us from negative and segregated gender identities. Fuck off with this bullshit. This is fucking stupid. The more interesting opportunity seems to be in exposing the toxicity present within the unconscious bias that acting green is a feminine and therefore weaker or negative thing. I'm not sure that their study shows anything like that. Again, this article doesn't explain much of the methodology, and
Did Charlie Brown's teacher write this? Because all I heard was wah wah wah.
Pretty much,
yeah.
Toxic hierarchy around femininity, blah 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 blah. Jesus.
Again, this is so unscientific exposing the fact. It's not fact. It's at this point it's your working hypothesis, and given the quality of the study, it's a really weak hypothesis. Also,
anytime they introduce the concept of unconscious bias, you have to stop and immediately draw attention to that, because what unconscious bias means is that even if what people say and what they do does not support my fucking worldview, I'll say that what they think, something that you have no proof of and can't prove, something that's entirely unfalsifiable, is the claim that no matter what you say or what you do, what you think unconsciously in your motherfucking subconscious is what I say. So that no matter what, I'm always right. This is an unfalsifiable concept, which is automatically bunk. It's bullshit. You automatically lose the second you make an unfalsifiable statement saying I'm right no matter what you say, no matter what you do, not even no matter what you think. In the back of your head, in your fucking soul, you're a wrongdoer. You're a wrong thinker. It's bullshit.
To be fair, the concept of unconscious bias is not per se unscientific because you can demonstrate it. But the problem is that in this study, they don't. In this article, they don't even say a strong correlation or weak correlation and how large the sample was. Because if the sample was small, or if the correlation was really weak, and also how did they account for other variables that might be influencing the result? Because again, in every study, especially when it studies sociological behavior, there are a lot of variables that probably were unaccounted for, especially in this Chinese study where they didn't probably account for again.
It is tremendously difficult to study impulse and instinctual and prejudicial behavior because it's so fucking hard to account not just for present variables but past variables and whatever has changed this person's perception. To make an assumption that they do a thing subconsciously because they're masculine or because they're male or because they're toxic or because they're racist, it's so fucking hard to prove conclusively. It's just usually cornball science. You have to have the most rigorous, like double-blind discipline fucking to do this kind of shit. But when you have a survey that obviously is using colored language and prejudicial, unsupported things like colors and flowers and how people react to this and this product and that product, which has infinite labels, like the way the researchers talk to the subject, the instructions they give, the supermarket they're in, the kind of people they've selected, it all could affect the outcome. There's way too many variables, just like Gleb said. This is just bullshit. There's no way this is conclusive.
And also, the conclusion is so far going, and especially, by the way, this last paragraph is also retarded. Bruh sums it up nicely. We need to overcome our unhealthy judgments of gender incongruence, and men need to be confident in their self-identity and decide to live a sustainable lifestyle without caring what other people think. Well, I mean, if you don't care what other people think, then you will. It includes not caring about what people think about you being sustainable or not.
Yeah, it's just
also if you want to green, first step is not just buy something that says eco-friendly. First is using less coal for electricity and more nuclear power. How about that?
No, the nuclear power I'm totally for. It's a good step toward carbon stuff.
Nuclear power is the most eco-friendly way to generate electricity of all of them. Well,
yep.
Because first of all, the coal burning fossil fuels is the least. You don't need to explain why it is bad for.
But Glebs, nuclear power is bad. The scientists told me this. I mean, have you seen all the meltdowns that happened in Japan and all these other countries?
Yeah, well, in Japan, this power plant was like 50 years old. Why it wasn't decommissioned by that point, I don't know. Also,
and it was really, really badly designed.
Yeah, the Chernobyl thing was just the pinnacle of negligent Soviet retardation.
And also, the problem is the way it was designed. When they replunged the control bars, it displaced water. So technically, for a few seconds, when you replunge the control bars, the power increase.
Yeah. Well, first of all,
the design it was pretty retarded.
First of all, again, from speaking about Japan. What genius decided to build a nuclear power plant in a seismically active region where tsunamis are not exactly
seismic active region where the tsunami and the power the emergency power generators are under the water line. Retards.
Also, again, by the way, in France gets like 80% of its electricity from nuclear power plants. When was the last nuclear disaster in France? Well, there wasn't.
Never.
They actually their program is designed pretty well. They regularly old power plants are decommissioned and closed down and replaced by new ones. So none of their current nuclear power plants are using ancient technology that is falling apart. Because if it was built in the 50s, it probably should have been decommissioned like decades ago.
Yeah.
Technology advanced a lot since then, and the modern nuclear power plants are much safer than the oldest ones for obvious reasons. If those power plants that were built when you had computer that takes 2 rooms just to calculate square root of 4.
Oh yeah, those really big ass IBM units that were literally absolute fucking units. The memory alone.
Those were the OG units.
By the way, you want to know something funny? You know how even modern day computers, like when a program crashes, it saves memory dump, and it's usually called core dump. Do you know why it's called core dump?
I don't know.
It's because in all those ancient computers they used ferrite core memory, and even though those ferrite core memory hasn't been in use like from the 70s, it's still called a core dump, and it's
the name stuck.
Well, no, it's really completely off topic, but let me just talk about core memory because it's not as retarded as this fucking article. So this is what memory looked like for those ancient computers.
Damn.
What it consisted of? It consisted of those a lot of planes, and each plane had this those wires, and those are tiny ferrite like beads. They're basically from ferrite powder. It's like the kind of same thing. It's used for inductors and transformers, but only tiny. They're really like 1 or 2 millimeters, in diameter. Those are tiny, and each one can store 1 bit. So to store like a kilobyte, you need a huge stack of those. Like a demonstration, so you can actually So this demonstration like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. It's like 16 bits of data, like 2 bytes. This construction. Of course, the real ones were much smaller. It's just a prototype to show the principle of working. But yeah, you get the idea. So if you want like a kilobyte, it's from USSR.
It's quote unquote country.
It's funny because this looked pretty much identical in all countries that produced computers at the time. Because that's what it looked like. Just a bunch of those tiny ferrite beads and wire mesh. Imagine like a terabyte using core memory.
That would be pretty big, and the amount of connections that could go wrong.
Well, they actually it doesn't use too many connections to the CPU.
I feel like I'm back in the show Discord and watching you guys talk about tech shit, and once again it's like Charlie Brown. Wah wah wah. But at least you're talking about real stuff that I don't understand.
By the way, this is the for size comparison. These are those ferrite beads. What they look like.
This is the way of the future, huh?
Right, so don't forget size doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Imagine making those like with a pair of tweezers. That's what job I would like.
Oh my god.
You know what always kind of blew my mind about the Fallout universe? They say the way their tech all looks like that and shit is because they never developed the transistor. I don't think they would have had all the cool shit they had if they never had the transistor.
There's no way without a transistor how they have talking robots. Then again, it's not a hard science fiction. So it's like
they would have had like the Robo Brains and shit would have been the size of a bus without the fucking transistor. For fuck's sake.
Yeah, I think that originally the idea was that people were afraid of nuclear war, so they went back to the vacuum tubes, because unlike transistors, vacuum tubes are pretty resilient towards EMP shockwaves from nuclear blasts. So
right.
A transistor-based radio and a vacuum tube-based radio. Guess which one of them will die after a nuclear explosion?
Yeah, you got a really good point. That, and I think they just mostly wanted to have that 60s Jetsons punk style. I forget what kind of punk that's called.
More like 50s. It's
yeah.
What's the name of this style? It's
Atom Punk.
Retro.
Yeah, it's Atom Punk. That's correct. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think that's the term. Yeah, they consider Fallout to be Atom Punk. Well, that means given that this property went to Bethesda, and Bethesda fucked the lore and then fucked the lore again, so they retconned the original lore, and then retconned themselves, then they retconned their retcons.
One of these times I'm going to actually have to sit down and play Fallout 1 and 2. The first time I tried to play Fallout 1, I didn't build a good character to deal with fucking rad scorpions, which seemed to be goddamn everywhere, and I game overed within an hour of play. Because apparently you got to find the fucking MacGuffin, the Gek, in fucking an hour, or you just lose. And I was huge turnoff. I hate that kind of game over screen. It pisses me off.
Well, the thing is that it's
because I was gonna be I'm gonna be an unarmed character, and they're like, here's a bunch of rad scorpions, faggot. Try to punch that with your bare hands.
Unarmed is completely unviable in the first two Fallouts. Well, at least to me, because you can technically, but it's like in the real world. If you have access to firearms, would you bash people with your fists?
Dude, in Fallout 3 and New Vegas, unarmed is broken. It's the best shit ever. You're a fag if you shoot people with guns.
Yeah, but in the first Fallout, the first wasn't very well balanced. But again, small arms are you can finish the game using just only small gun. What's called small arms. Pistol, rifles. Big guns are.
I just felt like the game didn't even give me a fucking chance to figure out where I was or what I was doing before it just went, oh, all your friends fucking died of thirst, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck is this game? How do you play if you gotta within an hour get the thing? If you gotta get the MacGuffin that fast, then how the fuck do you play the game?
Well, first
in other words, get good. Get fucking good.
I couldn't even get anybody to tell me where to look for it before I fucking died. I was like, okay, you need a walkthrough to play this bullshit.
Actually, no. The first of all, the time limits are not as strict. Also, you can prolong this time limit. I think in the hub area, you can. Was it hub or? I don't remember the name of the town, but you can actually, pay the water caravans to deliver water to your.
Yeah, I know that there's a way to play it right and shit. I'll get around to it sometime. It fucking left a really bad taste in my mouth the first time I tried to play it. I was frustrated because I basically spec'd myself into being completely fucking helpless and crippled constantly, and had no idea how to heal myself. And everywhere I wandered was a scorpion, and then I wandered all the way to the fucking super mutant camp and went, oh shit. And left, and I'm obviously not supposed to go this way.
The forums are your best friend when it comes to Fallout.
Yeah, but it kind of pisses me off when a game just basically has there's a right way to play, but it doesn't give you any direction. And a lot of people like that. I fucking hate it.
I mean, here's the thing. The you know what the period for that countdown is? 10 years. 10 years. Go ahead, Liz.
Oh, wanted to say that. I don't know. When I first played it, I just used. My first character was pretty viable, even though I didn't spec him properly, but I still managed to finish the game. Again, the problem is that unarmed is unviable, and the melee in the second Fallout it's more viable, but in the first one, I don't know. Firearms are,
I played an indie roguelike game called Cataclysm or Cataclysm Last Days or something. I forget what it was called, but it was the most batshit insane. It was a lot like Fallout 1, except for it was simultaneously there was a zombie outbreak combined with Lovecraftian demons coming from another dimension, and it was just a total apocalypse. And they just throw you out there, and there's you can wear just about every kind of item you can think of and just about any fighting style you could think of. I literally made a character who was a Muay Thai black belt, and I was running around doing flying knees and like elbow strikes to zombies and exploding their heads at level 1. It was amazing. Like, I wish Fallout 1 was like that. Like, I literally was going against lightning super zombies and kicking the shit out of them with my bare hands. It was great.
Well,
I wish it was like that.
Well, you can, when you are high level in first Fallout, you can get, when you level up your energy weapons and you get plasma rifles. Plasma rifle is pretty much there are better weapons, but
and the game was
rifle wipes the floor with one. Just enemies just are melted into a pile of goo with one shot.
Yeah, but just because I could do flying kicks to super zombies didn't mean I wouldn't round the corner in a town and there was like a tank being run by a ghost firing like mortar shells at me, and if I didn't leave immediately, I'd be exploded into dust. I wasn't like Superman. Like, there was all these levels to the game. Like, by the end of it, my friend is raiding like the 35th basement floor of Area 51 that's like in the for some reason some cryo chamber's broken and the entire fucking chamber is minus 120 degrees, but he survives because he's wearing like 15 layers of clothes and his character's replaced most of his body parts with cybernetic fucking augments, and he's running down there with like super secret kung fu Chinese laser sword fucking techniques and like slicing the heads off of Lovecraftian horrors. Like, that game is way better than Fallout.
Oh, but by the way, again, back to the topic. I just looked up this bro, and guess what professor of he is?
What?
Let me show.
Marketing.
If
you're in marketing, kill yourself. There's no joke. There's no punchline. Just kill yourself.
Just kill yourself.
I'm just.
Bruh.
Yeah, let's talk about talking about Fallout was funny, but I think it's probably a good place to kind of wrap it up for today.
Yeah, I gotta get going soon. So,
in any case, thanks to everyone who joined us and endured this. Thanks to everyone who watched us. We still have viewers somehow, and well, as always,
it was a pretty good show, as depressing and mind-numbing as it was.
So I'm surprised I just didn't get here.
We have viewers at all.
I'm glad I stayed for what was left.
But we covered what our show covered, which is ultra-degeneracy.
That it did.
Pretty much. Nice. Yeah. Thanks to everyone. See you next week with more of the same. Stay problematic.
Shout outs to Flo from Progressive and kill yourself.